A very good morning to the dignitaries present in the auditorium, to all distinguished guests, and to all attendees of today's workshop. Today, we are all assembled here at Vishwa Bangla Convention Center, Hall number 7, to take part in a state-level workshop on price monitoring of medicines and medical devices, which is being organized by Price Monitoring Resource Society West Bengal Unit, which is abbreviated as PMRS-WBU. Ms. L. Pritha Dasgupta, Assistant Director Drugs Control, welcome you all on behalf of PMRS-WBU family, that is the Price Monitoring and Resource Society West Bengal Unit, in the first state-level workshop at Vishwa Bangla Convention Center organized by PMRS-WBU. It is estimated that there are about more than 60,000 medicines brands that are sold by retail chemists in trade channel. The National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, NPPA, is responsible for monitoring the availability of medicines in the country and to fix or revise the prices of medicines falling under the price control category. But NPPA does not have its own field force to enforce of drug price control order under which the price controlled medicines are fixed. The Government of India now has initiated a new component, that is setting up price monitoring and resource units, PMRUs, at the state or union territories under central sector scheme of consumer awareness, publicity and price monitoring that would provide all necessary support to the state drug controllers and NPPA. As per the directive of Government of India, our state also Price Monitoring Society for Medicines and Medical Devices had been set up by order dated 28 July 2021 and which is also registered under West Bengal Register of Society Act on 25th October 2021. PMRS WB unit has started functioning with the recruitment of one project coordinator, one field investigator, and 2 data entry operators, and with active participation of officers of Directorate of Drugs Control, Government of West Bengal. Today, I hope the workshop will be knowledge-based and very brainstorming. We hope you will all enjoy the technical sessions very much. This type of state-level workshop is first of its kind in West Bengal. Now I am moving on to the welcoming session. I am very much privileged to announce that Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge of Finance Department, Minister of State, Department of Health and Family Welfare, and MOS to Land and Land Reform and Refugee Relief and Rehabilitation Department, Mrs. Chandrima Bhattacharya is amongst us today. Madam, welcome. Madam, I welcome you heartily on behalf of PMRS WBU in today's workshop. On also requesting you to adorn your chair on dais, Madam. Volunteers, please escort her to the dais. Now Momita, Officer of Drugs Control Department, will felicitate Madam Chandrima Bhattacharya, Honorable Minister. Okay. With floral bouquet and a memento. We are also thankful to Sri Narayan Swarup Nigam Sir, IAS, Honorable Health Secretary, Department of Health and Family Welfare, also Chairman of PMRS WBU. Now I am requesting Chief Guest Nigam Sir to please be seated. Now Sudeshna will felicitate Sri Nigam Sir with flower bouquet and memento. Nigam Sir, please. We are grateful to Sri Tapan Kantri Rudra Sir, IAS, Honorable Secretary of this department, our very own Director Drugs Control and also Member Secretary of WB Unit of PMRS. Our officer Orchita from State Drug Control will felicitate Sir, Sri Tapan Kantri Rudra Sir, with flower bouquet. Orchita. Then we are very much thankful to respected Sir, Sri Shubhanjan Das, We are expecting that Sri Shubhanjan Das sir will be arriving very soon. He is not there at this moment. Now I will request Mr. Ratan Kumar Khetwani ji, who is the Joint Director, Legal Division of NPPA, and today's guest speaker also, to be seated on the dais. And Moumita will be again welcoming him with flower bouquet. We are also expecting Sri Dr. Devashish Bhattacharya, DME sir. Now, I am requesting respected DME sir, please come onto the dais, sir, please be seated. Orchita again. Please felicitate, sir. Now I am requesting DHS sir, Dr. Siddhartha Niyogi sir, to be seated on the dais. Sudeshna, Officer of Drug Control, please felicitate Dr. Niyogi sir with flower bouquet and memento. We are thankful to Sri Prabir Kumar Mishra. We are requesting Sir Prabir Kumar Mishra. I think we are expecting him shortly. Mr. Y. Ratnakara Rao, we are expecting him shortly, and we are expecting Mrs. Mohua Banerjee also shortly. Now we are thankful to Madam Choitali Chakraborty, Special Secretary, D Branch, for her presence on the workshop. Madam Chakraborty will be felicitated by Orchita again with floral bouquet. We will move forward to the inaugural lamp lit up session, but before that there will be an opening song, a Tagore song obviously, sung by Paramita Roy Mukherjee of Food Safety Department. Hello.
गाओ बिना बिना गाओ रे, गाओ बिना बिना गाओ रे, अमृत मधुर तार प्रेम गान मानव सबे शोनाओ रे, मधुर ताने निरस प्राणे, मधुर ताने निरस प्राणे, मधुर प्रेम जागाओ रे, गाओ बिना बिना गाओ रे, गाओ बिना बिना गाओ रे, ব্যথা দিও না কাহারে, ব্যথিতের তরে পাষাণ প্রাণ কাঁদাও রে, নিরাশের কহ আশার কাহিনী, প্রাণে নব বল দাও রে, ব্যথা দিও না কাহারে, ব্যথিতের তরে পাষাণ প্রাণ কাঁদাও রে, নিরাশের কহ আশার কাহিনী, প্রাণে নব বল দাও রে, আনন্দময়ের আনন্দ আলয়, নব নব তানে ছাও রে, আনন্দময়ের আনন্দ আলয়, নব নব তানে ছাও রে, পড়ে থাকো সদা বিভুর চরণে পড়ে থাকো সদা, বিভুর চরণে আপনারে ভুলে যাও রে। গাও বিনা বিনা গাও রে, গাও বিনা বিনা গাও রে।
After this beautiful voice and beautiful song, now the session will be lamp lit up session. Now our guest of honor, Srimati Chandrima Bhattacharya, Honorable Minister, will lit up the inaugural lamp to mark inauguration of today's workshop, requesting the dignitaries on stage to accompany Madam. Project Coordinator, PMRS WBU, Tania Bishwas, will be handing over the remote to Madam. It is said, when a lamp is lit up in any program, a positive aura is reverberated in the auditorium, which makes the program successful. So we are also thinking our program workshop will be successful today. Next, I am handing over the microphone to Srimati Monia Chatterjee of Food Safety Department for the next phase of anchoring.
Hello everyone, good morning and namaskar. I am Dr. Monia Chatterjee, Food Safety Officer, your host for the inaugural session. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all on behalf of entire PMRS WBU family. Your all presence makes us very happy and will definitely make this workshop a success. This pleasant morning and the inaugural session has already begun with the lighting of lamp. The light, the warmth, actually represent the light of wisdom, which would guide us towards our true and full potential which is within us. We just need to reach and grab it. So without any delay, let's just begin our inaugural session, starting with the welcome address. I would like to request Shri Tapun Kanti Rudra Sir, IAS, Honorable Secretary of Health and Family Welfare Department, Director of Drug Control, our very own Commissioner Food Safety, and also Member Secretary of PMRS WBU to deliver welcome address.
Namaskar. Good morning to all. On behalf of the Price Monitoring and Resources Society, West Bengal Unit, under the Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of West Bengal, I welcome all dignitaries, participants and guests to this first state-level workshop of the Price Monitoring and Resources Society, West Bengal. We are extremely privileged and honored to welcome our respected Madam Chandrima Bhattacharya, Minister of State, Independent Charge, Finance Department, and Minister of State, Health and Family Welfare Department, Land and Land Reforms Department, and Refugee Relief and Rehabilitation Department, Government of West Bengal. Madam has been guiding us continuously in our efforts in the Health and Family Welfare Department to serve our 10 crore people of this great state for better health and safer life. With her inspiring leadership, West Bengal is offering best healthcare facility to the citizens. Welcome, Madam. We look forward to listen to your valuable advices today, as usual. We are happy to welcome Sri Narayan Sarup Nigam, IAS, Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of West Bengal, and Chairman, Price Monitoring and Resources Society, West Bengal. Since the COVID-19 pandemic period, Nigam Sir is spearheading the actions and initiatives with absolute precision and timing and planning, taking forward the entire panorama of our services under the Health and Family Welfare Department. Welcome, sir. We eagerly await your valuable advices. We cordially welcome Sri Ratan Khetwani, Joint Director, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, NPPA, who is also a member of the West Bengal Price Monitoring and Resources Society. As we all know, NPPA is the union body providing guidance to states and union territories to towards drug pricing, monitoring, and related all activities. Ketwani ji has taken the travel down from Delhi to Kolkata for this very much workshop, and he would hopefully guide us in our next actions and further initiatives. I cordially welcome Dr. Professor Debashish Bhattacharya, Director of Medical Education in the state. Dr. Bhattacharya, with his amiable disposition, is guiding the medical education expanding fast in our state. I cordially welcome Dr. Siddhartha Niyagi, Director Health Services. As the head of the Directorate of Health Services, he is captaining a large team of health professionals in the state and responsible for extending 24/7 health services to our citizens. Welcome, Dr. Niyagi. I welcome Srimati Chaitali Chakraborty, WBCS Executive, a very senior state service officer, Special Secretary in the department, who is heading the Drugs and Equipments branch and ensuring availability of drugs at the farthest corners or at the all health institutes we are having in the state. I sincerely welcome all dignitaries, guests, participants, our colleagues, officials, NGO representatives, the pharma sector representatives, and everyone present here. Under the guidance and auspices of the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, NPPA, the State Price Monitoring and Resources Societies are actively working. Price Monitoring and Resource Society West Bengal, set up in July 2021 under guidance of our respected Minister of State, Madam, and Secretary and Chairman Nigam Sir, we have taken up all related works in right earnest and priority. We have already held general body meeting, 4 monthly meetings of the Executive Committee, infrastructures and arrangements and plan of action are in place. Today's state level workshop would hopefully be helpful in dissemination of information to the farthest corners of our state and all stakeholders and create appropriate environment for further journey in this sector. The 5 prime objectives of our price monitoring resources societies are ensuring availability of all essential drugs at all time to our citizens, monitoring of price of scheduled and non-scheduled drugs across the state, ensuring quality of drugs, massive awareness building involving citizens, customers, all stakeholders, ensuring regulatory check and simultaneously extending helping arm to the drug industry on behalf of the Drug Directorate and the Health and Family Welfare Department. With these few words, I welcome once again all and all to this state level workshop. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for welcoming all. We are enthusiastic to hear from you later on in our technical session. Next, taking the session ahead, I'll take the privilege to request our guest of honor, Srimati Chandrima Bhattacharya, Honorable Minister of States, to deliver her valuable speech. Please come, ma'am.
A very good morning to all of you who are on the dais and off the dais. Today, this is an event, as we have already come to know that this is an event which was not held any time before, and this is the first time this sort of program has been arranged. I thank, first of all, the Health Secretary, because he is in season of the entire thing, and Mr. Topon Kanti Rudro, who has been very, very enthusiastic in holding this workshop. So here we have on the dais Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya, Director of Medical Education, Dr. Siddhartha Niyogi, Director of Health Services, Mrs. Choitali Chakraborty, Special Secretary, and our very honorable guest, Mr. Khetwani, who has come all the way from Delhi to grace the occasion and to be a part of the workshop today. So all of you who are here, I know very little of this subject because I am from the fraternity of lawyers. But when I come in the midst of doctors and nurses and all those who are part of the health team, I find myself to be a person knowing very little of this subject. Though I am connected with it for the last 10, 11 years, but yet I have much to learn from you. You know, this is a ministry or the department which is being headed by our Honorable Chief Minister herself. This is a complicated department, and I often say this, that there are very few states where the chief ministers are heading this department because of its complications. Every day there are so many problems. Very rare states, I think Tripura is now having the Honorable Chief Minister who is also heading the department, but he's a doctor. But our Chief Minister is not a doctor, yet she is heading the department, and under her supervision, the entire health team of our state is working hard to actually be beside the people of West Bengal. This is a big state, you know, having more than 10 crores of people. So to be with them, to look after them, it's our duty. And you all are helping the entire state to be free from any ailments. Actually, we try, but we cannot do everything, but yet we have to try. So this is what is being done by all of you. Now, so far as price monitoring is concerned of medicines, medicine, you know, form 40% of the total medical cost. So monitoring of price of medicines is very, very important. If you have to be, in fact, beside the ailing person who is a poor person, you have to see that he or she is able to purchase the medicine which is needed. So this is where price monitoring comes into the picture, and it is needed that they should be very, very, very enthusiastic, in fact, to do the entire thing. So this is what is being done, and the workshop also is today arranged for this. So here, the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority is also there, and this, as Mr. Rudro has already stated, that this has been in West Bengal, this has been formed in July 2021, and it is actually trying to assist the National Pharmaceutical Price Authority as well. So we are looking forward. What I as a layman understand, that price has to be very moderate, price has to be within the reach of the common people, and for this, whatever is needed to be done has to be done, and this should be our motto. I think your workshop will be a very, the exchange of ideas and the exchange of the thoughts will give a new way to the entire thing, and it will be a successful workshop, as I know. So you all will be there for the whole day. I would have been very happy to participate by remaining here, not participate by saying something, because as I told you, I do not know. But I would have stayed here. Since my assembly is in session, I have to leave. I apologize. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity today morning to be with you here and to have all of you here who will be participating in the workshop which will be held after this. So the technical session will be after this, and our lady officer who had sung the song was beautifully sung, and I also thank her, and the other anchors are all lady. So I am always with the Mahilas and women, and you know they are the Shaktis. So this Shakti, I know, will lead you to your ultimate goal. Thank you all.
On behalf of all of us, our entire PMRS WBU family, I would take the privilege to thank our chief guest, Chandrima ma'am, for your inspiring words. We are really charged up after your blessings. Being a person of different arena, ma'am has rightly understood us and also advised us to be with the public of West Bengal. She pointed out the importance of price monitoring. She wished the newly formed PMRS WBU a success. So we are grateful that she had taken the time out and attended the workshop to make it a success. Thank you, ma'am. Now next, I would request Sri Narayan Swarup Nigam Sirji as IAS Principal Secretary to Department of Health and Family Welfare and Chairman West Bengal Unit of PMRS for Medicine and Medical Devices to enlighten us with his few words.
मंचेर उपविष्ट आमार सहकर्मीगण दिल्ली থেকে আগত মিস্টার খেতওয়ানি এখানে উপস্থিত আপনাদের সকলকে আমার পক্ষ থেকে আন্তরিক অভিনন্দন শুভেচ্ছা জানাই First of all, I would like to congratulate the entire team involved with the organization of this workshop for organizing and bringing us, all of us together to look at the drug, beyond drug control. আজকে আপনারা অনেক লোকজন এখানে পার্টিসিপেট করছেন আমি কয়েকদিন আগে একটা পরিসংখ্যান দেখছিলাম ভারতবর্ষে কত টাকার প্রত্যেক বছরে ড্রাগ or devices বিক্রি হয় Competition Commission of India has published one very interesting report. If you have not read it, make a read. Roughly 20 lakh crore worth of drugs and equipment, all these things are sold. In our state itself, directly we buy more than 2,000 crore worth of drugs and equipment. If that be the case, এই ছাড়া মানুষ যে খরচা করে তার মধ্যে 50 to 60% কস্ট যায় ড্রাগস এন্ড ইকুইপমেন্ট উপরে তারপরে বিভিন্ন সময় ইমার্জেন্সি ট্রিটমেন্ট গুলোতে যায় তাহলে ইটস সাম সেক্টর which is very essential for everyone. I come to this state ফিল্ডে কাজ করতে আরম্ভ করেছি প্রায় 24 বছর আগে তখন তিনটে জিনিস আমি প্রত্যন্ত একটা ইসলামপুর বলে একটা সাব ডিভিশনে এসডিও হিসাবে পোস্টিং আরম্ভ হলো তিনটে জিনিস প্রত্যেকটা কোনায় আমি দেখতাম একটা মিষ্টির দোকান একটা अंग्रेजी दवाखाना একটা ফলের দোকান If that be the case, it is very essential to understand that as you develop and as you improve upon, as the human society develops, as the science develops, most of us will be consuming drugs in one form or another. So I jokingly tell Mr. Rudro, he is a Commissioner Food Safety as well as Director Drug Control. I tell him, anything which goes inside us belongs to you and you are supposed to monitor. Now, coming to the drug point of view, lot of advances recently have taken place. You know, we have a national pricing authority, National Pharma Authority hoyeche, National Pricing Authority hoyeche, lot of rules and regulations have come. The costs of medicine needs to be monitored. আমি জানি না কি আপনারা জানেন কিনা ইউনাইটেড স্টেটস অফ আমেরিকা বা আমাদের কাছাকাছি দেশগুলোতে আপনি যে আমরা ক্রোসিন খাই তো হলে নিজেই একটা ফিভার হলে 650 500 খেয়ে নিই কোসি তারও দাম কিন্তু আমাদের দেশ থেকে অনেক গুণ বেশি আমাদের যে হার্টে যে অনেক লোকের অপারেশন হয়ে স্টেন্ট বসে তার প্রাইসের কোনো কিন্তু রেগুলেশন ছিল না একসময়, বা পেসমেকার কস্টে, কিন্তু অল দোজ থিংস আর কামিং উইদিন আ ফর্ম অফ আ রেগুলেশন। আর সেই জিনিসকে প্রাইসিং যেমন ঠিক মতো হচ্ছে কি না সেটা মনিটরিং করার জন্য কিন্তু PMRU গঠন আমরা প্রায় 1 বছর আগে করলাম। রিজন বিং कि something which is consumed by everyone, especially in the time of distress, which people will normally emotionally get connected, it's very difficult to ask. If suppose someone suggests you an antibiotic which costs you 200 and another doctor suggests you 500, there is a natural propensity and inclination etai bhalo. So a system with which markets don't perform so efficiently, there is always a need for a regulator, and that led to establishment of PMRU. তারই অন্তর্গতে আজকে আমরা একটা ওয়ার্কশপ এখানে অর্গানাইজ করা হয়েছে। I hope lot of technical issues will be discussed and think what is a legal basis, how it should be monitored, what is happening across the country. I think those technical issues, if they are discussed, some of you who are working in the field can also come and share your experiences. So we will be able to evolve an ecosystem in which this particular entire system works. In fact, for the last 1.5 years, we are going to take lot of initiatives for development of this drug directorate itself. We are going to come up with a separate office building for the Directorate of Drug Control. We are going to very advanced level lab we are going to establish in Convent Road where you have existing lab. All regional offices we want it to be fully modernized, furnished well. So are your district offices also. Idea being, in any developed society, anything which is touches with the nature needs to be regulated, needs to be monitored, needs to be accessible. সেই কারণে আমরা কয়েকটা রিফর্মসগুলো এই সেক্টরে নিচ্ছি। আশা করি আজকে মিটিং আপনাদের সকলকেই কাজে লাগবে। আবার আপনাদের সকলকে আমার পক্ষ থেকে আন্তরিক অভিনন্দন, ধন্যবাদ, ভালো থাকবেন।
Thank you, sir. Your talk was just appropriate and at the right time, as it is the high time for us to think about it. Our audiences are definitely, I feel, they are charged up. He has shared his experience from the grassroots level. He emphasized the importance of price monitoring of medicine and medical devices. In critical cases of use of medical devices, how more control can be done, he mentioned. That is the importance and the reason for the formation of PMRS. His speech made us, of course, charged up, as he assured about our new offices. Now, going on to our next guest, I will request Shri Ratan Kumar Khetwani ji of NPPA for a brief speech as of now. I must mention that he would have one presentation in technical session 2 where we will be hearing from him at length. Sir, please come.
Pranam, a very good morning. Indeed, it's a pleasing moment for me and it's an honor as well to be part of this graceful occasion. For this, I just place and thanks to State Government West Bengal for organizing such kind of program, and to aim as NPPA is to be outreach with the person who are consumers. So I would say such kind of program is very beneficial to all of us to reach as per our aim and objective which is mentioned in our NPPA regime. For this, I'm just very thankful to our Principal Secretary, sir, who just take an initiative to organize, and Rudra sir as well. He's not only called me or invite me, but also given an opportunity to address you, and in technical session we'll also share a couple of slides before all of you and share what NPP is doing, what is its functioning. So at present, since session is on moving ahead, I just won't take much time, but must say thanks to our PMRU team for organizing such kind of webinar. We'll come again soon in our technical session. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your brief speech. It was short, but it was surely stimulating. We are happy to know, as NPP official, you are cheering our approach of such workshop. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to request Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya, Director, Medical Education, to deliver few words for us. Sir, please come.
Good morning, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here in this beautiful morning amongst all of you. All of us have been already enriched with our previous speakers like MOS Madam, our Secretary Sir, and also from Government of India representative. So we are really charged. But as a whole, truly speaking, being a doctor, we always interact with the general people as a patient. And whenever there is a price restriction, people has a belief or the doubt regarding the quality control. So that is very, very important. And what our Principal Secretary Sir has already said, we're going to develop a beautiful lab which we will be ensuring the quality of it. The price restriction and the quality should be working hand in hand to make a faith among the people that really we are consuming the quality products and we are bound to get effects. So that is very, very important to develop a faith among the general people regarding these generic medicines, the quality control, and what government is going to give to each and every one of us. I wish and pray on Almighty that this endeavor is a really genuine need for the society, and it will be a blessing to the society, the whole of the nation. Wish you all the best to have a generation with a good knowledge impact from this workshop and give it to us so that we can really implement it in a proper way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening talk. Sir has wrapped up medical treatment and the price of medicine in one frame. He blessed us. Our audience are definitely intrigued by the new possibilities and suggestions given by you, sir. Our next guest is Dr. Siddhartha Yogi, Director, Health Services. I would request him to share a few words with us. Sir, please come.
Very good morning to everyone. Already our MOS Madam has given an inspiring speech, followed by our Secretary Sir and other who has spoken before me. So what I want to say, the treatment should be affordable to the patients, general public. So things in hospital, we are giving free treatment. Also in Shashustra Sati, we are giving free treatment. But all are not included. If you go through the bills of any nursing home, even big hospitals, you will just see in a medicine on the back it is written maximum retail price is such. After that, it is GST, they are putting, GST is a government order. And again, and service charge is there. So I could not understand why it is. So you people who are present here, so I would request you to look after it, to audit the few nursing home bills so that we can regulate it also. Otherwise, we won't be able. So what I want to say, maximum little price means it can be sold below that also. Anyhow, the treatment should be affordable to everyone. And there are the thing, patients are unnecessarily billed, the medicines are not used even, so many antibiotics are billed, I do not think they are used. Even some other associated things and implants also and other accessories. So some of my friends come to me, say, sir, I have got a bill, so many bills for the protective gears and all these things. But as Corona has gone down, nobody is wearing it. But there is bills for everyone. Even not single, it is double even. So we are taxing the people. This has to be stopped. I will request you during your workshop to find a way how to control this. And why should we have a clinical establishment regulatory authority? If we are honest, everything will be there. And somehow, every week we open the paper, we see so much has been fined. Even in Satsu Sati also, we also make some fine. So whatever it is, the treatment should be clear one and it should be affordable to the general public. I will request you all who will be in this workshop to make it a affordable one and let the health department gain its previous prestige. So we can also say that we are giving a good service. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for bringing to us this important message, and definitely your talk touched us in so many critical areas. Sir has emphasized on the MRP related issues. He has also mentioned the serious issues of excessive antibiotic uses, etc. He emphasized on controlling both medicine prices and medical treatment to make them affordable to common man. Okay, so I thank again all our guests and members. With this, our inaugural session is completed, has come to an end. We are quickly switching over to our technical session 1, where we will hear from different speakers, also from Khetwani ji. But before that, let's just take a break and have some warm sip of happiness and come back again after 15 minutes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a small tea break for 15 minutes only. Please finish the tea and come again. Only 15 minutes break.
টাইম হচ্ছে, আমাদের গেস্ট যদি ওখানে যায় আপনি একটু কাইন্ডলি দেখে নেবেন। না না, ব্রেকফাস্ট ওরা হয়তো ব্রেকফাস্ট হয়তো করবে না, টি কিছু খেতে পারে, এদেরকে দেওয়া হয়েছে। আরও তো অনেক চিফ গেস্ট আছে যারা হলে বসে আছে, ওরা ওই কেয়াসেই বসবে, আমাদের লোকজনও আছে, আপনারা একটু কাইন্ডলি সার্ভ করে দেবেন। আপনি থাকুন এই লাঞ্চ এরিয়ার ওখানে, আমাদের সব স্যারেরা যাচ্ছে। ওকে। আচ্ছা দাদা, দেখুন আপনি জলের বোতল জল শেষ হয়ে গেলে জল দিয়ে দেবেন।
Please take your seat. We are moving to the next part of the workshop, the technical session 1. The most interesting session of all. Please complete your tea and have seat. I wish you'll sit tightly because it will be full of enrichment, full of knowledge, and full of many queries. And another thing I have to announce, if during the presentations and deliberations, any query is raised, please write it down in a paper and hand it over to us in the right side of the podium. During the question and answer session, we will definitely address those. Do not interrupt the session in between with your questions. Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome back. So we will start with our technical session 1, which will be definitely more informative and we will get to interact with different speakers. To start with the technical session with keynote address, I would like to invite Shri Tapan Kanti Rudra sir. And I'll give a brief introduction. Shri Tapan Kanti Rudra sir has passed MSc in chemistry and secured master degree in public administration. He joined State Civil Services on 1st September 1987. His working sphere was in block level, subdivision level, and district level. Before joining Department of Health and Family Affairs, he served in various departments like Transport Department, Power and Non-Conventional Energy Department, Irrigation and Waterways Department, Sundarban Development Department, etc. His long 35 years of service life was spent in public sector, serving our state of West Bengal. So let's put our hands together and request sir to please start with the technical session 1. Please, sir.
Namaskar. Once again, good morning to all. I presume you all know everything, but just I will put some slides and highlight those and try to bring your attention to those points. So this is the first state level workshop under the PMRS West Bengal. So our primary objective, as I earlier stated, to ensure availability, control the prices, control the quality, and collectively build up an atmosphere of going ahead. So just let us look back and the backdrop where we stand presently. We know health is a primary need, and perhaps it is the most significant need of the people. Human potential lost due to disease burden is enormous. WHO has a calculation, 2015 calculation. In subsequent discussions we can discuss, but the fact remains human potential, we cannot work, we remain ill, so our productivity gets lost. We cannot, to the highest potential, we cannot work. So human potential loss due to disease burden is enormous, we know. Disease burden substantially hampers development due to loss of active life years. Cost-wise, the medicine and other treatment cost is huge. MOS madam said the drug cost is around 40% and 60% in other medical devices, operation and other treatment cost. Huge out-of-pocket expenditure is there. So there was first effort in 1990 to calculate something called global disease burden. And the latest one available is 2019. Results were published in 2020. Next. Arup, next. Second slide. Mindful thakun. GBD, the global disease burden, is measured by disability adjusted life year, called DALY, disability adjusted. Ortha, if we can work to the fullest potential minus the period we cannot work. Due to ailments and diseases, something gets subtracted. So it is calculated by DALY, the disability adjusted life year. In developed countries, the disease pattern has shifted. It is called the NCD issues, the non-communicable diseases. They have shifted to the extent of 90% in USA. And the 4 major causes are cardiovascular disorder, cancer, musculoskeletal disorder, and mental and substance abuse, narcotics and all that, and alcohol and all that we know. Substance abuse disorder, these 4 are the primary cause. And poorer countries like in Africa and Asia, NCD is rising. The CD and NCD balance, still CD is significant. Communicable disease, we mean, is significant in some countries to the extent of 60%. In 1990, globally, the CD and NCD ratio was comparable, sort of 46%, NCD 54%. Presently, around the global death due to NCD is around 74%. So NCD issues are getting priority around 80%. 2017 disease burden calculation, global, these are global picture. Cardiovascular 15%, cancer 9%, neonatal disorder 7%, musculoskeletal disorder 6%, and mental and substance abuse, etc., and disorder caused by that is around 5%. And this sort of disease burden varies from country to country, region to region, place to place. Next. In Indian scenario, if we can calculate and look back and see something, some statistics, during 1990 to 2016, the disability adjusted life year decreased by 36%. Our health system improved, both CD and NCD issues improved, and that decreased by 36%. Our primary concern is child and child and maternal malnutrition is our major concern. The National Family Health Survey reports, if we look, huge anemic presence is there. In India, the NCD burden is about 60% or more than that. The deaths caused by NCD diseases are over 60%. That transition from CD to NCD prevalence took place 30 years back in advanced states like that of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, etc., etc. But the CD-NCD transition took place around 4 or 5 years back in some other states. If we look to the figures of life expectancy, 1990 and 2016, the figures are there, and it is also varying in states and regions. Next. With this backdrop, our task is, we have set the task, price monitoring, providing healthcare services, and regulatory actions. What are the regulatory framework? The first four, these are the primary acts and rules, and the subsequent, these in black color, these rules and provisions are meant for control of price and this PMRS related works, the primary. Next. National Pharmaceutical Pricing Policy came in 2012, and main focus was that the drugs were declared essential commodity, and the Act of Essential Commodities Act 1955 was active thereby. And National Pharmaceutical Pricing Policy notified, the date is there, 2012, and the objective was to put in place a regulatory framework for pricing of drugs. Under this, that 2012 policy, the subsequent developments came, and one thing called this Consumer Awareness Publicity and Price Monitoring Scheme. It had two components, national component, the cost part, and the awareness part is the primary responsibility of the Government of India and NPPA. And state component is creating and acting and at the grassroots level through the PMRS, means these price monitoring societies. There was a shift. Earlier it was cost-based, and now it is market-based. And as per the new policy, we know essential medicine list is published, and scheduled and non-scheduled drug, etc. They are there. Next. The primary focus is the essentiality of drugs, control of formulations only, and market-based, as I said. Drug Price Control Order 2013 is the latest, and these are the weapons, these are the regulatory framework to act in the field. Next. NPPA was established. Ketwani ji would further discuss and elaborate on this. 29th August 1997, the basic objectives were like this. During the COVID period, all over the country, we acted in cohesion and collectively, and in situations like that, we should remain prepared. Nobody knows what would come next. Next slide. DPCO, the Drug Price Control Order 2013, we all know the objective under the Essential Commodities Act, Section 3. I have just stated that the roles of the NPPA and all that. And DPCO is a progressive order as per need of the time. It has been changed 1966 to 2013, in between 1970, 1979, 1987, 95, and lately 2013. And drug control officers are authorized under this order, and Government of India can notify or the states can notify. Next. These are the major points of the DPCO 2013. Most of us all know these. Next slide. This is the figure, the graph would show 1st April every year as per the wholesale price index. The scheduled drug prices are, the price rise are announced. The graph would indicate the sharp rise 2021 to 22nd, 10.77%. That is the constant point. Presently, it is the market-driven things as per wholesale price index, and nobody knows 2023 how much it would be increased. So there lies our importance. Whatever the increase is, we have to ensure that that price is established and available to the citizens. Next. This figure is the cumulative price increase year to year. Next. DPC, under the DPC order, we have these enforcement capacities. We do undertake these actions. Next, I'm just going through quickly. Who declared global policy to ensure availability, price, etc., etc., regulating price of patented drugs so that there is no monopoly, bulk procurement by the government we are doing in DRS, in hospitals, we are giving free, so that the market price is under control and the private partners are at par with this system. Insurance scheme, we know these schemes. Promoting price transparency, declaration and awareness to the people, and regulation of price of essential drugs. Next. Under the 2012 policy, price monitoring and resource units have come up in the country, in the states and UTs. West Bengal last 2021 July, and after registration it started functioning from October onwards, I suppose, last few months only. These are the points. Next. These are the primary functions of the PMRU or the society unit or the society, price monitoring society. Monitor notified prices of medicines to check the availability of the essential medicines, collect test samples of medicines to check the quality at the laboratories, collect and compile market-based data of scheduled as well as non-scheduled drugs and formulations, advertisement and publication of newspaper, newsletters for awareness of all concerned, all stakeholders, conducting training, seminars, workshops. Today's workshop is one of that kind, the state level one. Next. These are the facts and figures of regarding, as I discussed, establishment and progress further. We have held some meetings, general body meeting and executive committee meeting, and we are taking forward the actions. These are the points. Next. We have some contractual staff members. We have engaged all of them. 7 of them, the category 1 PMRS is West Bengal. The states having more than 3% of total population of India will be given this class 1 or the category 1 PMRS. West Bengal falls in that category, and there would be 7 personnel. Next. These are contractual personnels apart from the whole office setup of the Drug Directorate. These are sort of repetitions. Functions are the NPPA to just keep liaison and be the machinery with the NPPA at the apex level and at the field level at the state. We are the body to act. These are the actions. Next. Financial statement, fund receipt and expenditure. Next. Next. As per our survey, we have found some violations of prices and of quality, etc. We are uploading those. Out of 101 brands in last 2 months, we have observed 5 violations, and description of these brand names are there, generic names. And our actions would continue. It has just started. Next. Way forward. From today onwards, after having your suggestions, discussions, and all these are our plan of action in future. After the state level workshop, we are going to conduct district level at each district, at each region, and those workshops would be completed by March 23. We would undertake IEC activities extensively at the grassroots level, involving all stakeholders, consumers, customers, NGOs, citizens, and the representatives of the industry, pharma industry, manufacturer, distributor, retailers, all. Concerns of all would be taken into account. Market surveillance activities through PMRU officials, holding PMRU executive committee and GB meetings, etc. And as per further discussion and need of the society, need of the time, we would also undertake such actions. Next. This is a statement. During the COVID period, we acted substantially well and could manage the pandemic well, I suppose. From vaccines to medicines, everything was in place, and availability and quality, and to the farthest corners of the state, our officers and other societal organizations acted superbly, thanks to all of them. And now, with this, next, I conclude and just seek your advices and points to be discussed later. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your speech. It was such a nice deliberation and full of informations. Now, our next speaker is Mr. Ratan Kumar Khetwani ji from NPPA. We are awaiting eagerly to hear from him. Hope his lecture will clear many a doubt and also raise many queries about price monitoring. Those will be addressed in the post-lunch questionnaire session. Please note the questions in paper and hand it over to us. Here is a brief introduction of Mr. Khetwani ji. Ratan Kumar Khetwani passed MCOM and secured MA in Public Administration. He has obtained FCMA, CS and MBA from IIM. He had secured CGMA from Chartered Institute of Management Accountants from London. He has also submitted thesis of DFM PhD in IIM. Khetwani ji is an officer of 2010 batch in organized Group A service. Presently, he is serving as Joint Director in NPPA, Department of Pharmaceuticals, New Delhi, since 2020. Earlier, he served in CGST, Central Excise, Customs and Service Tax segment, either as Assistant Director or as Deputy Director or as Deputy Commissioner. His service rotated around Raipur, Bhopal, Indore, Ujjain, etc. area. He possesses pretty good experience in pharma legal issues, taxation, finance investigation, anti-evasion, stock market banking, etc. He has 2 research papers publication in International Journal of Financial Crime. This is a brief CV of Mr. Khetwani ji. Sir, please come on to the podium. Here is a hand mic for you.
Hello. Thank you very much, madam. Now this time, बहुत ही शानदार deliberation रहा secretary sir का. I am just praising and giving a thanks to him. बहुत ही अच्छा elaborative था, informative था. अपनी presentation चालू करने के पहले मैं 2 लाइन बोलना चाहता हूँ. जिंदा है तो जिंदगी की जीत पे यकीन कर, जिंदा है तो जिंदगी की जीत पे यकीन कर, है स्वर्ग तो उठाला जमी पर, है स्वर्ग तो उठाला जमी पर. Next slide, please. We'll discuss some of points taken into consideration in our slide that is relevant to most of things Secretary Sir has already displayed and informed to all of us. So I will try to remove duplicacy. But yes, of course I will share some of practical aspect which we are facing and which we had faced in COVID time and during my serving to NPPA. Certainly I will share those points. So these are the contents, NPPA, step taken by NPPA, what is out of our action, what we have done, that regulatory framework, existing regulatory framework, etc. and PMRU overview, objective, etc., which are already displayed you on slides. So next slide, please. Yes, this is an overview. 1997 में हम लोग स्टार्ट किए थे NPPA headed by the rank of Secretary to Government of India or Additional Secretary to Government of India. Then also consists with a member secretary, is a joint secretary to Government of India, and consists with advisors, 1 or 2 advisors, and directors or JD directors, these are equal. Then the supported team with deputy director, assistant director, and field staff as well. So presently there is only one central office situated in New Delhi. Then it has been what kind of tasks we have interested with in fixation and revision of price of scheduled formulation and scheduled medical devices and listed in Schedule 1 of Drugs Price Control. As you know, ki National Drugs of Essential Medicine, NLEM, to be declared and shortlisted by National Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, GOI, Government of India. So based on that NLEM, same list taken into in Schedule 1 by Department of Pharmaceutical. Based on that schedule, we go for fix for determine drugs prices of scheduled drugs, but we do not determine price of non-scheduled drugs. There are a list of scheduled drugs, probably 890 approx, something like that. Then out of 890, rest is considered as a non-scheduled drugs, for which we do not go for a price determination or price fixation, rather say, but of course we monitor the same. Of course we monitor the same in a different manner. We'll later on discuss. So that is our function 2000 to DPS year 2013, accordance with the power delegated to us. Then the monitor availability of medicine, what we have been given a task under this function, monitor and availability of medicine and medical device, identify shortages if any. Shortages or availability we do in a 2-3 manner. First, we direct contact with manufacturers. We close liaise with the manufacturer. During COVID time, we were very close monitor. हम लोगों को बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट टास्क दिया गया था, खासकर अगर आप लोगों को याद होगा वो एम्फोटेरिसिन करके दवाई आई थी जब आंखों में आ रही थी, तब इट वाज बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क था कि उसको राशनिंग करना है, सारे स्टेट्स को देना है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था. एक रेमडेसिविर करके मेडिसिन आई थी, उसके भी प्राइस हम लोगों के द्वारा जो भी कंपनियां उसको बनाती थी फिक्स किए गए थे. और उस जी हाँ, हाइड्रोक्सी क्लोरोक्विन ऐसी कुछ दवाइयां थी जिसको हमने उसमें लिया था. इस तरीके से हम उनसे कोऑर्डिनेट करते हैं, प्लस एक्सटेंडेड आप के थ्रू स्टेट ड्रग कंट्रोलर्स के थ्रू जो भी हम पीएमआरयू की पहुंच के थ्रू वी कंसिडर एज ए एक्सटेंडेड आर्म ऑफ एनपीपीए. पीएमआरयू इज कंसिडर्ड एज एक्सटेंडेड आर्म ऑफ एनपीपीए, ऑफ कोर्स कंसिडर एज ए की कोलैबोरेटिंग पार्टनर एज वेल. सो आप हमारे हाथ हैं पीएमआरयू. हम जहां नहीं पहुंच सकते वहां पर, जहां ना पहुंचे रवि वहां पहुंचे कवि. तो जस्ट आप लोग सारे कवि हैं. हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, पीएमआरयू पूरे देश को एक साथ जोड़ने के लिए पीएमआरयूज ने एक क्या बोलेंगे ऑर्गेनाइज रूप से, संगठनात्मक रूप से सारे लोग आगे आए हैं. अभी तक 25 पीएमआरयूज प्राइस मॉनिटरिंग रिसर्च यूनिट बन चुके हैं. ऑफ कोर्स रेस्ट कुछ यूनियन टेरिटरीज में चालू है, सच लाइक अंडमान, लक्षद्वीप, जो ऐसे रीजन है. मोर देन 80% पॉपुलेशन पे हम लोग रीच कर चुके हैं थ्रू पीएमआरयूज. सो हाँ, डील विथ इन लीगल मैटर्स राइजिंग आउट ऑफ डिसीजन ऑफ अथॉरिटी. समटाइम्स क्या होता है, कोई प्राइस फिक्स किया है तो कुछ लीगल मैटर्स आते हैं हमारे पास कि कोर्ट में जाते हैं, हाई कोर्ट देन सुप्रीम कोर्ट, तो वी डील सच मैटर्स. एंड इसके अलावा कुछ वायोलेशंस होते हैं, ओवर चार्जिंग वगैरह होती है, जो भी प्राइस फिक्स किए वी फाइंड वायोलेशंस होते हैं, उसको अगर नोटिस भेजे जाते हैं तो कंपनी फील एग्रीव्ड आउट ऑफ इट, देन they go to the high court and supreme court accordingly. Then these are our function, and of course given a render advice to central government पर जो उनकी पॉलिसी है उसके ऊपर. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Yes, so far we have just fixed 890 scheduled formulation. Up to 30th June we have fixed prices of 890 scheduled formulations. Of course, one of our क्या बोलेंगे key objective was to fix prices of scheduled formulations. So we have just completed our task with 890 scheduled formulations. शायद इसमें 890 scheduled formulations में 2200 drugs included है, मतलब different formulations में होते हैं. Then in the retail price fixation of 2032 new drugs, एक और regime हमारे पास है कि जब भी कोई भी मैन्युफैक्चर नए ड्रग्स बनाता है, एक्सिस्टिंग मैन्युफैक्चर, नॉट न्यू मैन्युफैक्चर, एक्सिस्टिंग मैन्युफैक्चर्स कोई नया ड्रग्स बनाता है तो दे हैव टू अप्रोच टू एनपीपीए फॉर प्राइस के लिए. देन वी हैव फिक्स्ड प्राइस 2032 ड्रग्स एज ऑन 30th June. मेडिकल डिवाइस में भी हम लोगों ने प्राइस फिक्स करते हैं जो शेड्यूल्ड होते हैं, जिसमें हमने मेडिकल डिवाइस में कॉर्नरी स्टेंट्स एंड ऑर्थोपेडिक नीज इम्प्लांट एंड इंट्रायूट्रिन डिवाइसेस, कंडोम्स का करके प्राइस फिक्स किए हैं अभी तक. सर ने एक बहुत अच्छी इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट बताए थे कि अभी तक हमारे 15% जो बीमारियां होती है वो शायद कार्डियोवास्कुलर से होती है. मुझे याद है कि आपकी स्लाइड्स में याद आया था 15% थे. 15 थे सर, 30% एंड 9% शायद कैंसर के थे. मैं आपके उस पार्ट पे आऊंगा कि व्हाट इनिशिएटिव वी हैव बीन टेकन. हाँ, दैट्स एन इनिशिएटिव कि अंडर ट्रेड मार्जिन रैशनलाइजेशन, इट्स अ न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ट्रेड मार्जिन रैशनलाइजेशन, कि कुछ ऐसी स्थितियां होती है कि जहां हम डायरेक्ट मार्केट में प्राइजेस फिक्स नहीं करते, उससे कुछ चीजों की प्रॉब्लम्स आ सकती हैं. सो हमने ट्रेड मार्जिन रैशनलाइजेशन अप्रोच को किया और ये नॉन शेड्यूल्ड थी. हम लोग शेड्यूल की प्राइस फिक्स करते हैं, जैसे मैंने कहा आपको दवाइयों की, बट कुछ हमारे पास एक्स्ट्रा पावर है डीपीसीओ में पैरा 19 को इन्वोक करके कि जो बहुत एसेंशियल सर्कमस्टेंसेस होते हैं, स्पेशल सर्कमस्टेंसेस होते हैं, उसमें हम दवाइयों के दाम फिक्स करते हैं. बाय यूजिंग दैट पावर हमने 42 एंटी कैंसर ड्रग्स की दवाइयां फिक्स की, 42, और इसमें से काफी दामों में मेरे ख्याल से 60% तक की कमी महसूस की गई. और आगे उसकी स्लाइड में आएगा कि कितनी सेविंग्स हुई. हाँ, एक ट्रेड मार्जिन रैशनलाइजेशन अप्रोच में हमने ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर एंड 5 अदर मेडिकल डिवाइस कोविड-19 में हमने फिक्स की, जैसे बीपी मॉनिटर, डिजिटल थर्मामीटर, नेबुलाइजर, पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर एंड ग्लूकोमीटर. इसके बारे में मैं इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट बताता हूं आपको कि ये कैसे ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर कैसे हुआ. जब कोविड में अप्रैल 2021 समथिंग, जब कोविड पीक पर था, तो ऑनरेबल दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में PIL आई थी और मेरे ख्याल से देश के अलग अलग कुछ हिस्सों में भी कुछ PILs लगी थी, जिसमें कोर्ट का स्ट्रिक्ट ऑर्डर था कि ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर के दाम फिक्स किए जाए. सो हमारे पास काफी इसमें प्रॉब्लम थी, और प्रॉब्लम क्या थी कि अवेलेबिलिटी वाज द इशू. अवेलेबिलिटी इज दो कि हमारी सप्लाई बहुत लिमिटेड थी. सप्लाई लिमिटेड होने के कारण अगर हम सपोज कोई ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर 50,000 में भी मिल रहे थे, कोई 1 लाख रुपीज में भी मिल रहे थे, कोई 1,50,000 भी मिल रहे थे, देन 2 लाख में भी मिल रहे थे. और बेस जो प्राइसिंग रहती है, हमारे पास कोई ऐसा पैरामीटर्स चाहिए था जो सभी को एक्सेप्टेबल हो. और मतलब और क्या होता है कि हम किसी की एवरेज करके प्राइस फिक्स करते हैं, सपोज 60,000 या 70,000, तो जो 40,000 वाली चीजें वो भी 70,000 में मिलेंगी, और जो 2 लाख वाली चीजें हैं वो भी 70,000 में आ जाएगी. और शॉर्टेज तो वैसे ही चल रही थी इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में, क्योंकि हम मंगा रहे थे सारे ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर विदेशों से, क्योंकि डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्शन था नहीं ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर का, और वो बहुत क्रिटिकल टाइम था, सबको ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर चाहिए था. तो किसी भी प्रकार का प्राइस फिक्स करना एक बहुत बड़ा कियोस या शॉर्टेज पैदा कर सकता था मार्केट में, क्योंकि सप्लाई को वो इंटरप्ट कर देता. तो इसी कॉन्सेप्ट को हमने हाई कोर्ट के सामने बात रखी कि हमने कोई भी प्राइस फिक्स कर देते हैं किसी भी प्रकार की, तो वो हम लोगों के लिए तकलीफ हो जाएगी. जो एक्सिस्टिंग प्रिवेलिंग सिचुएशन था उसमें कियोस हो जाएगा, और आर्टिफिशियल शॉर्टेज हो गई तो और दिक्कत हो जाएगा, लोग होर्डिंग भी कर देंगे फिर. और कोई चीज प्रोडक्ट अगर 2 लाख का है, हो सकता है वो ज्यादा एस्केलेटेड दाम में बिक रहा हो सकता है कि, लेकिन वो स्टैंडर्ड की कमी थी. मतलब ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर बहुत टाइप के थे, छोटे बड़े, मतलब अलग अलग मेजर के थे, तो किसी एक को प्राइस फिक्स करना बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था. तो इसी बात को लेके हमने ऐसा किया कि सारे इंडिया के जितने मैन्युफैक्चरर और इंपोर्टर्स हैं उनसे डाटा मंगाए, कि हमने O&M इशू किया, देन डाटा मंगाया. डाटा मंगाने के बाद हमने उनको देखा कि उनकी लैंडिंग प्राइस क्या है, लैंडेड प्राइस क्या है, प्लस वो कितने प्राइस पे अपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को सप्लाई करते हैं. उस बेसिस पे हमने एक ट्रेड मार्जिन रैशनलाइजेशन प्रोसेस के तरह जितनी उनके पास आता है, कितने में आया प्लस कितने में अपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को देते, बेस्ड ऑन एक कैप कर दिया उसके प्राइस को कि भाई आप इतने % जोड़ के उससे ज्यादा नहीं मिल सकते. तो सारे इंडिविजुअल्स की क्या बोलेंगे स्टैंडर्ड में कोई कंप्रोमाइज नहीं हुआ, और सारे प्राइस फिक्स करने के बाद नोटिफिकेशन और सारे कंपनियों की लिस्ट दी गई कि जो जो इंपोर्ट करते हैं, और केवल वही अथॉराइज थे उसी को लेकर के कि जो मार्केट में सेल कर सकते थे। तो अंडर दिस अप्रोच वी कम अक्रॉस दैट सिचुएशन। तो उस समय टीएमआर अप्रोच काफी काम आया, और उस समय कोविड भी, बीपी मॉनिटर, डिजिटल थर्मामीटर, नेबुलाइजर, इनमें भी हमने सिमिलर अप्रोच को किया, वो कोविड को ध्यान में रखते हुए। सो वी आर एस्टिमेटिंग आउट ऑफ इट we could able to save approx 2,447 crores approx, it's a rough estimate. So through annual savings through various modes, we are just displaying that in our chart. Through NLEM, that is 2423, under NLEM 2015 2643 crores, cardiovascular 350 crores, coronary stents 4,500 crores by virtue of fixation of prices. पहले जितने दाम थे और अभी कम करने के बाद इतनी हुई है। नी प्लांट्स में 1,500 crores एंड एंटी कैंसर मेडिसिन 984 crores रुपीस अप्रॉक्स हमने सेव किए। एसेंशियल मेडिसिन में खासकर मुझे लगता है कोरोना स्टेंट्स, नी इम्प्लांट्स और एंटी कैंसर बहुत ही जरूरी है, क्योंकि आपने भी जैसे कहा कि मोर देन 30-40% जो बीमारियां हैं और इनकी प्राइजेस को फिक्स करके हमने काफी रिलीफ देने की कोशिश की कंज्यूमर्स को, क्योंकि आज हमारे देश में हार्डली मान के चलें 10% ही हैं जो इफिशिएंट है किसी भी मेडिकल को पेमेंट करने के। बाकी जो क्लास है जो उस तक पहुंच नहीं सकता, उनको रिलीफ देना बहुत बहुत जरूरी था। तो हमने इस स्टेप से एक कोशिश करी। Then regulatory frameworks already illustrated in previous session. These are the drugs and cosmetic acts के तहत हम लोग रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क रहता है, फिर CDSO भी उसी से रिलेट रहता है। देन CDSO एंड हमारे में ये है कि CDSO थोड़ा फंक्शनल है, लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी है, डिफरेंट पार्ट्स पे लेके हम लोग थोड़ा प्राइसिंग अथॉरिटी हो जाते हैं, बट वी आर क्लोज कोऑर्डिनेटेड। CDSO मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर को के अंदर आता है, हम लोग डिपार्टमेंट फार्मा फर्टिलाइजर मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर आते थे, बट अभी हमारे मंत्री साहब से सेम ही है, दोनों मिनिस्ट्री को हेड कर रहे हैं। देन एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज एक्ट, ये हमारा पेरेंट एक्ट कहलाता है कि बस इसी एक्ट के द्वारा हम लोग पावर को ड्रॉन करते हैं डीपीसीओस के लिए सेक्शन 3 के अंतर्गत, उसी से पावर हम ड्रॉन करते हैं, इसलिए हम उसको पेरेंट एक्ट बोलते हैं। सो डीपीसीओ के अंतर्गत पहले ड्रग्स को एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज के अंतर्गत लाया गया, उसके बाद एक सेपरेट ऑर्डर के थ्रू इसको हम लोग एग्जीक्यूशंस करते हैं। और शायद इसका इतिहास भी काफी पुराना है। आपने जैसे बताया था स्लाइड्स में 66 के बाद 1970 आया। मैंने अपने अनुभव में 1979 के केसेस डील कर रहा हूं, आज भी केसेस 1979 के चलते हैं, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट 44-45 ईयर्स हो गए हैं, 43-44 ईयर्स हो गए, आज भी केसेस लाइव हैं। आई यूज्ड टू डील बीइंग एज ए लीगल हेड, सो मैं उस चीज को देखता हूं कि 1979 में प्राइजेस होती थी, क्या करते थे, बल्क ड्रग और फॉर्मुलेशन, दो अलग अलग कैटेगरी होती थी। उस समय हम लोग फिक्स करते थे प्राइजेस की, बल्क ड्रग की कुछ रिटेल प्राइस फिक्स करते थे, कुछ पूल्ड प्राइस फिक्स करते थे बल्क ड्रग के लिए, एंड लीडर प्राइस फिक्स करते थे फॉर्मुलेशंस के लिए। और फॉर्मुलेशंस के लिए हर एक मतलब मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को अलग अलग खरीदने के लिए क्या बोलेंगे उसकी प्राइस डिटरमाइन करते थे। एग्जाम्पल, एक मैन्युफैक्चरर फॉर्मुलेशन बनाता है, बल्क ड्रग्स भी बनाता है या इंपोर्ट करता है इधर, सो हम उसको एक स्पेसिफिक प्राइस दे देते थे बल्क ड्रग, रॉ मटेरियल। बल्क ड्रग्स मींस रॉ मटेरियल, शायद आप सभी लोग तो इससे एक्वेंटेड होंगे। देन सपोज उसने 100 रुपीज के लिए हमने उसको प्राइस दे दी फॉर बल्क ड्रग्स के लिए, अगर वो प्रोक्योर करता है 80 रुपीज में, सो 20 रुपीज उसकी एक्स्ट्रा मार्जिन हुई, तो उसको DPEA अकाउंट में डिपॉजिट करना होता था, ड्रग्स प्राइस इन इक्विलाइजेशन अकाउंट। अगर वाइस वर्सा हो जाए तो कैन क्लेम 120 में खरीदा तो 20 रुपीज का उसको लॉस हुआ तो देन मैन्युफैक्चरर कैन क्लेम। सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ प्रोविजंस इन 1979। देन 87 आया, 87 में थोड़ा सा चेंज हुआ, 1995 के तर्ज पे हुआ, और कॉस्ट बेस्ड प्राइस का वहां से शुरुआत होती है। 87 में कॉस्ट बेस्ड का शुरुआत होती है, देन बिगिन विद इन कॉस्ट बेस्ड प्राइसिंग, वो 87 से चालू होती है। सब्सिक्वेंटली 95 में भी कॉस्ट बेस्ड प्राइसिंग कंटिन्यू होती है, थोड़ा सा और रिफाइनमेंट के साथ 95 में, बल्क ड्रग्स एंड फॉर्मुलेशंस के साथ एंड डिफरेंट प्रोविजंस के साथ। बट 95 डीपीसीओ में एक खास बात थी कि हम लोग जो इंटरेस्ट चार्ज करते थे उसके लिए कोई सेपरेट प्रोविजंस नहीं था। अगर आपको याद होगा कि 1995 में कोई इंटरेस्ट की सेपरेट प्रोविजन है डीपीसीओ में, अगर आपको याद हो तो है नहीं था। एक्चुअली उस समय एक हमारा केस होता था टीसी हेल्थ केयर कंपनी है, उसने केस किया था बेस्ड, हमने उनको ओवर चार्जिंग किया था। केस बहुत इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट में हुआ, देन सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हुआ, फिर रिव्यू हुई, रिव्यू के बाद क्यूरेटिव पिटिशन है, फाइनल हमने एक्सेप्ट किया कि 1995 में इंटरेस्ट जो चार्ज होगा वो फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ डिमांड चार्ज होगा, नॉट फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ ओवर चार्जिंग। ओवर चार्जिंग मतलब जिस दिन से उसने ओवर चार्ज किया, किसी भी चीजों को हमने कैच किया कि सपोज दवाई 10 रुपए में बेचनी चाहिए, उसने 11 रुपए में बेची, तो 1 रुपए का जो ओवर चार्ज है, जब हमने उसको नोटिस सर्व किया उस दिन से चार्ज होगा इंटरेस्ट, ना कि जिस दिन से उसने ओवर चार्ज एक्चुअल होना चाहिए। एग्जाम्पल मैं बताता हूं, 2015 में उसने ओवर चार्ज करते आ रहा है, 10 रुपए की चीज 11 रुपए में बेच रहा है, 10 रुपीज की मेडिसिन 11 रुपीज में। देन सब्सिक्वेंटली कैश दैट मैन्युफैक्चर एज ऑन 2018 and we serve and just solicit data, and based on that data we just find that his violation should be X crore rupees. But since violation was committed from 2015, we cannot demand interest on from that date. We have to demand our interest with effect from demand notice as well. तो वो एक पिकुलर उसमें फ्लॉ था, इसके कारण काफी इंटरेस्ट लॉस हो। एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज एक्ट को सेक्शन 7 को इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट ने, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसको प्रॉपरली एलैबोरेट किया। देन 2013 में लेकिन स्पेसिफिक प्रोविजन है कि इंटरेस्ट का ये होगा, और बेस्ड ऑन दैट अभी हमारे पास क्वेश्चन था कि क्या ये इंटरेस्ट का प्रोविजन 2095 के बाद क्या 2013 में भी ऐसे एप्लीकेबल होगा, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने लॉ के बेसिस पे डिसाइड कर दिया था। देन लेटेस्ट एक बार्ड का जजमेंट आया है, बार्ड हेल्थ केयर में, और भारत सीरम का जजमेंट, 3 जजमेंट को कॉमन करके हाई कोर्ट दिल्ली ने किया। उन्होंने एलिबोरेट किया कि इंटरेस्ट 2013 डीपीसीओ के केसेस में विथ इफेक्ट फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ जो ओवर चार्जिंग रहती है उससे लगेगा, ना कि डिमांड नोटिस। उन्होंने एक्सप्लेन किया कि 7A 95 जो था वो 1995 का ड्रग 7A को से कनेक्ट होता था, लेकिन डीपीसीओ की प्रॉपर पावर सेक्शन 3 से आती है, और प्रॉपर अगर चीजें लिखी हुई है 2013 में, इट हैज बीन ऑलरेडी गिवन ऑलरेडी स्टेटेड कि इंटरेस्ट विल बी चार्ज फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ ओवर चार्जिंग, दैट विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ ओवर चार्जिंग, नॉट फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ डिमांड। सो नाउ इट इज क्लियर विद 2013 एंड डीपीसीओ। दैट वाज ए कोर पॉइंट मैं चाह रहा था कि आपको शेयर करूं। देन दीज आर द एक्ट्स। देन एनपीपीए की जो पॉलिसी है 2015 में, उस समय से कन्वर्ट हुआ फ्रॉम कॉस्ट बेस्ड टू मार्केट बेस्ड। बेसिकली हम एवरेज प्राइसिंग करते हैं सारे लोगों के बेस्ड ऑन जो हमारे पास डाटा रिसीव्ड होते हैं फॉर फॉर्मुलेशंस। सो नेक्स्ट, these are the approach trade margin rationalization we discussed just few minutes back. Ki these are the new concept which we initiated for non-scheduled formulations and in special cases by invoking para 19 of DPCO. Then first, as a pilot project, we started with 42 anti-cancer drugs, then capped their margin by 30%. So out of data, 526 brands of this medicine showed reduction in MRP and up to 90% तक उनके जो प्राइजेस थे वो रिड्यूस हो गए बेस्ड ऑन एंटी कैंसर। और हम लोग अप्रॉक्स करते हैं कि 984 करोड़ की इसमें सेविंग हुई होगी है करके, इसमें हम लोग इमेज करते हैं बेस्ड ऑन जितनी प्राइस रिडक्शन हुए, बेस्ड ऑन उनकी कितनी सेल होती थी उस समय से। देन इसको हमने सिमिलर अप्रोच को हमने ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले शेयर किया कि उसमें हमने कन्वर्ट किया। देन 5 मेडिकल डिवाइस ऑन लाइट ऑफ प्रिवेलिंग कोविड सिचुएशन, जैसे हाई कोर्ट ने कहा था कि हमको आई यूज्ड टू बी ए वन ऑफ फ्रंट फेस बिफोर मतलब कोर्ट्स की हम लोगों से एडिशनल सॉलिसिटर जनरल पूछते थे अब इसमें क्या एक्शन लेना है। फिर ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरीज हम लोग एनपीपी हम लोग बहुत सारी मीटिंग किए। देन वी कम टू नो कि हमको टीएमआर के थ्रू चीजों को ला करके हम ऐसा करते हैं, और काफी सक्सेसफुल मॉड्यूल रहा ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर का। देन दीज आर द प्राइस मॉनिटरिंग रिसोर्स यूनिट में एक्सटेंडेड आर्म है जैसे मैंने बोला, और असिस्टेंट टू सेटिंग अप यूएमआर। हम चाहते हैं कि जितने भी प्राइस से रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन हैं वो हमारे कंज्यूमर तक पहुंचे। हमारे जितने भी प्राइस रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन है वो कंज्यूमर तक पहुंचे। अब इसके लिए लायबिलिटी है या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, हम चाहते हैं कि पीएमआरयू इस चीजों को टेक ओवर करे और हम कमिट करेंगे चीजों को प्रॉपर डिलीवरी करें, कंज्यूमर तक पहुंचे, उनको बताएं कि इन दवाइयों से इनके दाम इतने इतने हैं, हम उसको तक पहुंचे थ्रू वेबिनार, सेमिनार्स, एजुकेशंस, थ्रू कॉलेज में या अदर बोर्ड्स जो हमारी बेसिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और अकाउंटेबिलिटी भी है कि हम अपने जो दाम है, दवाओं के दाम है, उसको सही जो दाम है उसको कंज्यूमर्स तक हम आपको कन्वे कर सकें। दिस इज अवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। इसके लिए मैं आपको बताऊंगा, अगर इफ यू वुड हैव बीन नोन, एक हमारे पास ऐप है फार्मा सही दाम। आपके पास है, सभी के पास, किसी के पास फार्मा सही दाम का ऐप? यस, है ना। फार्मा सही दाम का ऐप बहुत ही अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है। हमने उसको 29 अगस्त के हमारे 25th NPPS डे पे हमने उसको रिवील किया था नए पैटर्न में। वो बहुत ही अच्छी चीज है। और उसमें खास व्हाट आर द कोर पार्ट ऑफ दैट ऐप, आप कोई भी दवाई का नाम लिखेंगे वो दाम तो मतलब दैट विल डिस्प्ले देयर रेट व्हाट एवर इन दैट टाइम, बट ऑल्सो इट सजेस्ट इन सिमिलर फॉर्मुलेशन व्हाट कैन अदर मेडिसिन अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट। वो सजेस्ट भी करता है कि इस सिमिलर फॉर्मुलेशंस में आपने कोई बताया कि एक स्ट्रिप 100 रुपीज की मिलती है, इट कैन बी सजेस्ट कि सिमिलर फॉर्मुलेशंस में 80 रुपीज में भी इस कंपनी की है, 70 रुपीज में भी इस कंपनी की है, 120 में भी है या 150, इधर मतलब फॉर इंस्टांसेस। वो एक उसका अच्छा फीचर है और उसको आप व्हाट्सएप से शेयर भी कर सकते हैं। मतलब कौन कौन सी चीजें, कई बार किसी ने पूछा कि भाई मेरे पास नहीं है ऐप, आप मुझे बता दो, देन आपने उसको डाउनलोड किया, देन शेयर भी कर सकते हैं चीजों को लेकर के। और सारे ब्रांड्स की दवा के बारे में बता, प्लस आप अपनी ग्रीवेंसेस भी लोड कर सकते हैं उसमें कि कोई भी चीजों को कहीं पर लग रहा है कि कहीं ज्यादा दाम चार्ज कर रहा है तो इमीडिएटली ऐप के थ्रू आप रजिस्टर कर दीजिए और हमारे पास चीजें आ जाएंगी, देन वील ग्रीवेंस को रिड्रेसर करेंगे। तो फार्मा सही दाम ऐप है, तो मैं चाहूंगा कि इसको मैक्सिमम पब्लिसाइज करें जितने कंज्यूमर्स को हो सके वहां तक पहुंचने में। और आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा आईसी एक्टिविटी, इंफॉर्मेशन, एजुकेशन एंड कम्युनिकेशन एक्टिविटी के थ्रू हम जनता तक पहुंचे, कंज्यूमर्स तक पहुंचे, उतना ही बेटर रहेगा। while sir was displaying in its presentation, I was looking कि US में health sector की क्या है. I'm just remembering, though I was not in NPPA, but I went to California University for some study, something like that, from Government of India. I stayed there for fortnight or month, something like that. So during that time, while relevant subject health sector was presenting by some professors, he just expressed that key within proud key, so far we are expanding 18% of GDP into health sector. And they are estimating that could be probably reached to 24-25% in next 4-5 years. 2025 they were expecting on that time. So उन लोगों के हेल्थ सेक्टर पे खर्चा इतना ज्यादा है और हमारे पर शायद 2 या 3% ही होना चाहिए हमारे पर. Then I raised a question कि आपने इतना खर्चा किया तो लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी कितनी बढ़ी. तो हमारे कंपैरिजन में उनकी लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी में कोई बड़ा अंतर नहीं था. मैंने उनको फिर कहा कि आपके जो पैसे खर्च हो रहे हैं वो वैल्यू फॉर मनी नहीं हो रहे हैं. देन फिर मैंने उनसे एक क्वेश्चन और भी किया था ड्यूरिंग आवर कि क्या आपके पास कोई रेगुलेटर मैकेनिज्म है. तो यूएस में भी प्राइजेस को लेके कोई रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क नहीं है, इसीलिए शायद वहां पर दवाओं के दाम काफी ज्यादा है. वहां पर भी मतलब मेडिसिन के दाम काफी ज्यादा है. दो दे गो फॉर इनोवेशंस, बहुत अच्छी चीज है कि इनोवेशंस के लिए जाते हैं. बट हाँ, आज भी ऐसा मेरा असेसमेंट रहा है कि आज भी यूएस या दूसरी कंट्रीज में जो मेडिसिन या डिवाइसेस के जो प्राइजेस हैं वो काफी हायर हैं हमारे तुलना में. और ऐसा मैकेनिज्म यूएस में भी शायद अभी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है. मैं बेस्ड ऑन माय प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस बता रहा हूँ. So I was in IC activity, so I am just urging all of PMRUs, members, officials and government officials कि आप जितना हो सके अवेयरनेस करें प्राइसिंग में और सही दामों जितने भी जो प्राइजेस हैं उनको डिसेमिनेट करें, अपने कंज्यूमर्स तक पहुंचाएं. These are the overviews. These are the objectives. बस टेस्ट सैंपल आप कोविड के लिए सैंपल्स टेस्ट सर्वे करते हैं. बेस्ट ऑफ माय नॉलेज सुकुमार दास साहब शायद सर्वे आती है आपकी रिपोर्ट से, वीकली सर्वे. स्टिल वी आर कंडक्टिंग कि कौन कौन सी मेडिसिन अवेलेबल है मार्केट में, या हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि कोई ऐसा वायलेशंस दिखता है कि प्राइसिंग के मैकेनिज्म में. जस्ट रिपोर्ट अस. हम मंथली रिपोर्ट के बेसिस पे वी आर एक्सपेक्ट. आजकल IPDMS सॉफ्टवेयर वी हैव लॉन्च्ड IPDMS सॉफ्टवेयर ऑन विच हम लोग सारे हमारे जो कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस है, सबमिशंस, मार्केट रिपोर्ट्स हैं या मंथली रिपोर्ट्स हैं, हम उसी के थ्रू शेयर करते हैं दैट मॉडल के द्वारा, ताकि एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे सारे कनेक्ट हो सके इंटीग्रेटेड रूप से. तो आई एम जस्ट आल्सो रिक्वेस्टिंग PMRUs की कोई भी रिपोर्ट शेयर करें तो IPDMS के थ्रू करें. और वायलेशंस की भी कोई ऐसी इवेंट आता है या तो आप उसमें रिपोर्ट कर दें, डायरेक्ट हमको सीधा दिख जाएगी. कई बार आप लेटर लिख के या कुछ मेल लिख के करते हैं तो शायद ट्रैक करना आसान नहीं होता, बहुत सारे मल्टीपल होने के, लेकिन एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे हम लोगों को सारे स्टेट्स के दिख जाते हैं, यूनिफॉर्मिटी भी रहती है. सो मैक्सिमम आई वुड अर्ज कि IPDMS सॉफ्टवेयर में बी यूज्ड. हाँ, कोरोनरी स्टेंट्स मेडिकल डिवाइस सेगमेंट में what we did, NPPS fixed the ceiling price of stent, wider notifications. Then this SO number is 30th March is revised price. Based on wholesale price index, we have now given a price of rupees for bare metal stent 9373 and something with BVS that is 34128. Then NPP also fixed the ceiling price of 2 category IUD and orthopedic knee plants. By virtue of that, by invoking para 19, we are able to bring it down prices by 59 to 69%, and we just estimating notional saving of rupees 1500 crore out of it. COVID essential drug, just we shared in our experience ki through COVID essential medicines we have just initiated and able to cap prices through trade margin rationalization. We have another mechanism for to monitor the prices for non-scheduled drugs. Non-scheduled, so far we discussed with the prices of scheduled drugs and invoking para 19 extraordinary circumstances. There is also provision, it is called DPCO in under para 20, in which what we used to do, we monitor the price of non-scheduled drugs. Non-scheduled drugs is if a price is fixed by any manufacturer, that manufacturer cannot be raise or increase its prices by 10% every year. Thus means we given a relief ki but particular industry can or particular product can be increase its prices 10%, up to 10%. If it goes beyond 10%, it is not acceptable. That is considered as a violation. So it directly we are also monitoring non-scheduled prices, non-scheduled drugs through para 20 itself. So it's being as an extended arm or considered as a collaborating partner, I would request all of you कि कोई भी ऐसी चीज violations अगर आपको observe होता है तो must reports to IPDMS mode will certain take a action, or since you are also authorized हैं चीजों को violations को detect करने के लिए, and then report to us, we'll issue a notice. बट हाँ, एक चीज और है कि अगर कोई हॉस्पिटल्स, वी आर नॉट हॉस्पिटल्स में अगर कुछ ऐसा होता है कि जिसमें प्राइस का ओवर चार्ज होता है, तो ट्राई टू गो एंड डिटेक्ट द सेम. सो वी कुड नॉट गो देयर बीइंग एज ए अथॉरिटी. सो आपका उसमें पावर है तो प्लीज गो हॉस्पिटल्स में, क्या चेक करिए कि वास्तव में जो पेशेंट्स हैं उनसे ओवर चार्ज तो नहीं हो रहा है, या जो DPCO के प्राइजेस हैं वो सीरियसली या रिगरसली फॉलो हो रहे हैं कि नहीं एज पर rules. That's it. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity to be present all of you. अगर कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहेगा, शायद मैडम हैज रेज्ड ए पॉइंट की वैलिड पॉइंट कि अगर कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता है तो शायद सेशंस के बाद पूछ सकते हैं, है ना, लास्ट में है. सो थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू. फिर टेक्निकल सेशन सेकंड में फिर एक नए पैनल डिस्कशन के साथ मुलाकात होगी. मैं एक 4 लाइनें बोलना चाहूँगा. हम लोग कितनी भी कोशिश करते हैं, कई बार कभी कमी छूट जाती है. हम कैन नॉट बी 100% एवरी टाइम. सो आई वुड से तेरे गिरने में तेरी हार नहीं, तेरे गिरने में तेरी हार नहीं, तू आदमी है अवतार नहीं. तेरे गिरने में तेरी हार नहीं, तू आदमी है अवतार नहीं, गिर चल उठ दौड़, क्योंकि जीत तो संक्षिप्त है, ये कोई सार नहीं, ये कोई सार नहीं। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Mr. Ratan Kumar Ketwani, sir, for an enlightening and informative presentation. And attendees, Madam has already said all the questions arised in your mind. You have noted already. We will discuss and all questions will be entertained in our question and answer session. Now, our next speaker belongs to Consumer Affairs Department. Mr. Arun Kaur, sir, is here with us from Consumer Affairs Department. Consumer Affairs is also an integral part of such price monitoring system. So, from their angle, we will hear some advisable words and concept. Mr. Arun Kaur, Assistant Director, Directorate of Consumer Affairs and Fair Business Practices, Government of West Bengal. He also recognized trainer, Department of Personnel and Training, Government of India. So, I am requesting Mr. Arun Kaur, sir, to share his words from his departmental point of view. Sir, please come.
So, good day everybody. I am from Consumer Affairs Department, and she has already announced. And it's a very difficult task to draw your attention after Mr. Ketwani. He is a so outstanding speaker and spoke well. My entire deliberation will be focused on consumerism. The deliberation was actually prepared on the experience we are gathering day by day from the part of the general consumers. So I would request all of you to kindly forget that you are an expert of any particular field, you are an expert of pharmaceutical arena, you are a very recognized government officer. Just think about the issue from the viewpoint of a general consumer. Before showing my presentation, I would mention the name of Kautilya. Kautilya in Arthashastra dedicated an entire chapter on consumer protection. And Mr. R.L. Rangarajan, who translated in English, one of the translators, Mr. Rangarajan, in the preface he wrote that Kautilya does not trust the traders, believing that they are always busy to make money at the cost of the consumers. That is very relevant nowadays also. And whenever I will proceed, you will see that at every point, at every stage, how the consumers are being treated by the unscrupulous traders. So, as I have already told you, that my entire deliberation is centered around consumer, let us have a look who is a consumer. As per definition of Consumer Protection Act 2019, the definition of consumer is divided in two parts. The first part is based on goods and the second part is based on services. Consumer is any person who buys any goods for a consideration which has been paid or promised or partly paid or partly promised or under any system of deferred payment, and includes any user of such goods with the permission of the original buyer, but does not include any person who buys such goods for resale or for commercial purpose. So, from this definition, it is very evident that the people who are engaged in pharmaceutical industry and trade, they will not be covered under this Consumer Protection Act. This is absolutely exclusively for the consumers. The second part is similar, that consumer is any person who avails of or hires any services for a consideration, blah, 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 and includes any person who is a beneficiary, but does not include two persons, one who obtains such services free of cost, and the second person is a person having contract of personal service. This is a very delicate issue. I am not going to elaborate it. If anybody among you is interested, please come across us. Our officers are efficient able to let you know. Or in the question answer session, I will be remaining. If you have any question, you may raise. So it is very clear that a person who buys such goods for consideration for his or the family members' use is a consumer. Now, if you consider the changing scenario in the medical fraternity, the persons over here like me or like Mr. Rudro or some aged persons among us, you can remember our childhood. In our childhood, what did we see? We would have a family physician. We had unconditional faith on him. Whatever he suggested, whenever we fell ill, we used to go to that particular person. He had a primary examination over our body, asked some questions, tested our tongues, tested our pulses, etc. Then he prescribed some medicines, and unhesitatingly, without having any doubt, we would procure those medicines that applied on our body, we consumed, and in most of the cases, we overcome that sort of crisis. But if you consider the present day scenario, general consumers do not have any faith on most of the doctors. There are definitely exceptions. There are very renowned doctors who have enormously serving over the society. Actually, I personally came across some doctors who are serving to the people with some mission, some dedication, and they are not actually ready to make money over the issue. But in most of the cases, our common perception is the people who are engaged in health sector, they are very busy to make money at the cost of, as Kautulya has mentioned, at that time, it was written in around 300 BC, Arthashastra was written, that the traders are always busy in making money out of the pocket of the general consumers. So this is the common perception. As I have already told you that I will discuss the intersection on the perspective of the general consumers, I am just representing the views of the general consumers, as we have been receiving complaints from the general consumers, whether it is in writing or in sometimes it is verbal communication. But one thing I would mention here, that we have very little complaints over the issue of drug pricing and the quality, quantity, potency, purity standard of any drug. The reason behind is I have already analyzed a little thing. You may differ or you may agree. The reason behind it is that it is very difficult to prove for a person that the efficacy of the medicine is not up to the mark as it was claimed by the pharmaceutical company or as expected by the consumer. It is very difficult to prove. There is no actually laboratory in our country that a person can approach for such testing and have a concrete report. Medical service is very much included in consumer protection, as I have already told that the definition of consumer is divided into two parts. The service part is absolutely based on the services we are procuring from different service providers, and medical practitioners are also a kind of service providers, though it is criticized, some of the litigations were over there, that some services of medical fraternity is contract of personal service, though there it is a very debatable matter. I am not going to discuss over the issue. This changing scenario actually made such a situation that we fail to trust on the doctors, and you will definitely appreciate my views that whenever the modern parents go to doctors with their children, whatever the doctor says, they cross-check it with the Google. Many doctor friends told me that even in front of me, some people have started searching Google that whether I am on the right track or not. So the trust over the doctors has diminished in such a way. Second thing, might be it is an allegation, but it is surfaced in all the medias over the country that the medicines administered by doctors are influenced by big pharma companies. How it is possible, I will discuss later on. In later slide, I will show. As I have already told that with the passage of time, the Consumer Protection Act evolution is taking place. It was, I have started from Kautilya, but even before Kautilya, I can mention Manu. If you go through Manu Sriti, it was recorded in around 800 to 600 BC. You will see that in Manu Sriti also, the doctors at that time, probably the concept of doctors were not in place, but the physicians, that medicine men, they were included in consumer protection. So it is a very long tradition that the consumers are being cheated by the service providers, and government or state is always busy to protect them. This seminar, I think, is arranged for the purpose, I think. I have been allotted 15 minutes time. I can conclude it within that, but sir, if sir allows me, I will extend a little bit. Sir, can I? Okay, thank you. As I am telling you, that the entire episode is based on consumers. As per the provision of Consumer Protection Act, 6 rights have been guaranteed for the consumers. You can see over here that right to safety, that is very important, right to safety. Every consumer is guaranteed a right to safety. Whenever you go to market, whenever you are going to purchase something, whenever you are taking any service, you have full right to guarantee over safety from hazardous goods and hazardous services. Hazardous, how could we measure? The thing, excuse me. The safety measures which is required to be maintained by or under any law for the timing in sports, if that is violated, that is hazardous. Second thing, right to choose. Every consumer has a right to choose from where? From the commodities of similar nature in a competitive price. Goods of similar nature in a competitive price. If you consider medicine fraternity, as sir has very rightly said that Sahi Dam or something like that, Pharma Sahi Dam. But very few people, even those who are working over consumerism, like us, for the first time I have come across the term, nobody knows. So if there is such a big thing from which a consumer can ascertain or choose the medicine on a competitive price, medicines having the same composition or similar composition and same efficacy, if they get the opportunity to choose it on a competitive price, they will definitely be benefited. But that is not percolated to the grassroots level. So it is our responsibility, moral responsibility and professional responsibility to transfer the issues to the grassroots level. Even I would request Rudra sir to collaborate with us, because we are always engaged in spreading consumer awareness in grassroots level. We have that infrastructure. If you wish, you can collaborate with our department. We can percolate the issue among the common mass so that they can get benefit out of this software. Then right to be informed. Right to be informed, I don't need to elaborate it, but there is a confusion that there is an act, Right to Information Act 2005. Don't misunderstand with this act and this right. This is right to information, absolutely the information regarding the services or goods which you are going to procure out of your fund. Not right to information is a separate, Right to Information Act is a separate act and it has no bearing with this right. Then right to be heard, that I am a consumer, I am in the market, there must be someone who will be ready to listen my grievances, listen my discomforts, because I am paying for what I am procuring. So it is my basic right. Next, right to seek redressal for any kind of loss or injury out of the product I have procured from the market. I should have the opportunity to seek redressal. So every seller, every service provider, every manufacturer, every pharmaceutical company should make a mechanism in such a way that people can easily access to that and seek their redressal. Then right to consumer awareness, I am not going to elaborate it because this is a very common thing. We are going since 2002 or something like that. But now I will discuss how all these rights are being violated or infringed by the intervention of big pharmas or unscrupulous traders in manufacturing unit of medicines or the manufacturers of pharmaceutical companies or in connivance with some miscreants, I will tell, that who are actually provoking the doctors to do something which is not in favor of the consumers. First, as I have already told you, that a right to safety. In our state, I don't know whether this is the phenomenon or across the country, Mr. Khetani can enlighten us. In our state, basically in rural areas, all the medical shops are running without a qualified pharmacist. Whether it is mandatory or not, that you better can say. But as per our experience means experience of the common consumers, that almost most of the pharmaceutical shops are going on without having any qualified pharmacist. So there might be error in dispensing medicine because the prescription is written by doctors and the person who is dispensing that medicine, it depends accuracy of the medicine on the knowledge and experience of that person. So it might be a safety hazard for the consumers if the shops are run by some so-called non-qualified persons. In our state, the medicines are dispensed without prescription. It is a very common practice. People are habituated to procure medicine out of their own. They almost all of our doctors. Most of the participants, I think, Bengali speaking. So I would request you to go through the story of Parashuram, that Chikitsa Vibhat. If you say something that, oh, I'm not feeling well, my little headache is there, everybody will start advising you that do one thing, do another thing, apply this medicine, apply that medicine. And in family also, everybody is doctor. So in our state, in our country, we actually seldom go to doctor unless it is a grave situation. In minor health issues, we purchase medicines and consume. But sometime, out of ignorance, there might be some health hazard. So this should be stopped, I think. Without prescription from a qualified doctor, dispensation of medicine must be stopped. Another issue is the health hazard of a particular issue is not properly explained by the person who is dispensing the medicine in the medical shop. If you ask, he is so hurried that other people will say, please please wait, let him dispense my medicine first, then whatever you want to know, you will be informed later on. This is the approach of our customers and shopkeepers. It is not clearly explained. And if it is explained in the wrapper of the medicine, it is always in English. So all people are supposed to know English. Our people from the rural Bengal, they are not supposed to English. And you know the, it will be debatable if I say something about the education system of our state. But the fact is like that, most of the people either do not read or write English, or if they can understand the writing over the wrapper of the medicine. So this should have been in local vernacular. The medicine targeted for the people of West Bengal, the wrapper should be in Bengali. That is the basic right of the consumer, because if I don't come to know what is written over there, how can I be informed, and how can I take precautionary measures before taking that medicine? So this should have been done. And the fourth thing is a big thing, that medical trial. Sir has very brilliantly explained over here that government India is taking very good actions over the pricing of the medicine. They have very good control of the medicine. But I will tell you, sir, that trial of new medicines takes place in third world countries like India. And I have come across a report wherein it was said that in a single day, 50 trials have been done by pharma companies, and without, there is no harm in trial of medicines. But what happens in our country is uninformed consent. The people on whom it is applied, he is not informed that the side effects or health hazards over the issue. And they are chosen these third world countries like India, and because India is a very good potential market, and pharma companies, big giants, they offer good discount over the medicine. And sometimes, I don't know what are the mechanisms behind it, but it is a matter of fact that trial is a dangerous thing for general people unless it is tried in other places and applied on the people of our state, our country. So this is a big issue. Then it comes right to choose. Sir, is there anybody among you is a doctor by profession? Is there anybody? It would be better, it would have been better rather if there is any person who is by profession a doctor. In our state, in our country, instead of reiteration of the government to write the prescription generic name of the medicine, our doctors are habituated to write trade name. I don't know the mechanism behind it, the provocation behind it. Might be known to you. But if generic name is written over there, people have empty scope to find their medicine of their own choice at a competitive price. And I'm not a technical person, I don't know, you can better say that combination drug is all the components are do not work simultaneously. But instead of that, in our country there is a flood of combination drug. Then, sir, I'll amend myself. I thought that there is no mechanism to have the access of competitive price of medicine, but he has mentioned a software. We will try to circulate. Devashish, please record it so that we can percolate to the grassroots level. The people should have the opportunity to select medicine on a competitive price of the same combination and same efficacy. There is a notion among common people that the fair prices shop run by the government of West Bengal, the medicines dispensed from those shops are not of that level of efficiency or efficacy. might be wrong, I don't know, but that is a notion. So it is our responsibility, if that is so, if the efficacy is all right with some other medicines, other branded medicines, that should be informed to the general consumers so that they can purchase those medicines in a very low cost price. Then comes Me Too drugs. I did not know it before coming over here. This is a very peculiar thing I have come across. You know, the medicines are derived after the compositions are selected over a long period of research work, and the pharma companies are investing a lot of money. So primarily when a new drug comes in the market, the companies get patent. But the life of the patent is for 5 years or 10 years or something like that. But after expiry of that patent period, that particular pharmaceutical company withdraws the entire lot of medicine and introduces new medicine with similar composition, a slight variation in the composition, retaining the efficacy of the same standard. They launch in the market and take again the patent right. So this is a monopolistic approach, curbing the rights of the consumers. So government should look into it so that the medicine of similar composition with similar efficacy, that if any company takes any patent over the issue, that should not be repeated, and that patent right should not be extended so that the consumer rights are violated. As I have already told that prescription of combined drug are prevalent in our country, in our state, and doctors are always prescribing that. But I have some friends, doctor friends. Before coming here, I talked to them, and among a few of them are doing some social work also. They told me that actually if generic name of the medicine is written over in the prescription, people had the opportunity to, if two combinations are required, they can procure it separately. In the same capsule or same tablet, it is not required to make all that, to make the life miserable of the general consumers. They should have the liberty to purchase separate combination drugs, generic medicine separately, and as per advice of the doctor, they can use. It is a common practice in our country that medical shop owners sometimes push some non-medical substances like tonic, like soap, like baby food, or something like that. And even in exchange, whenever the question of exchange takes place, sometimes they also give eulogiums of 2 rupee or 4 rupee or 5 rupee or something. That they said that I don't have that change, either if you have, please give me or take this. That I am supposed to take all these nonsenses. Then a right to be informed. If you see that it is mandatory to write the generic name of the medicine on a particular wrapper of a medicine, you will say that even after prescribing the font size, some manipulation takes place. Suppose the trade name is Tosin. So Crocin is written in such a style that is very visible, very prominent, and paracetamol, if they are supposed to write, they write in such a font, retaining the font size same in such a font that people will not be able to understand. So this jugglery also takes place. So Government of India should take note of it, and this jugglery of writing trade name and generic name should be looked into properly so that people can have the choice. As we are as Rudro sir and Mr. Ketwani was discussing over NPPA, NPPA has a regulatory mechanism to settle the price of the medicine properly. They have recognized as per NPA order 2981 dated 36/2022, 84 essential medicines are included, but ironically, in that list of 84 medicines, there are some combined drugs also. So this should not have been there. Eligible prescription, though it is mandatory for the practicing doctors, as I have already asked that if there is any person who is by profession a doctor, so cross verification could have been done. It is mandatory to write every prescription in block capital. But what do we see? We do see the prescription of a doctor which can hardly be read over. That can be read by only the professional persons who are dispensing medicine. So the basic right of the consumers are actually carved at the very point of time when the prescription is written in such a illegible handwriting. Second thing, most of the doctors write prescription in English. But when I'm working in West Bengal, most of the people are Bengali speaking. That should have been written in Bengali also. I've seen many doctor friends who writes the prescription in Bengali also. In spite of the medicine name, they write the advice part in Bengali. But most practicing doctors do not do that. They write the prescription in that illegible handwriting and do not write the advisory part in a very legible manner and local vernacular. So that is a kind of carving right of the consumer. Again, what I am going to tell you is an allegation. But in spite of having concrete proof, I am supposed to mention it as it has surfaced. It has been surfacing over the media for some few decades. That's while promoting a medicine, the doctors are being influenced by many ways. Whether it is money or some other kinds, the doctors are influenced. It is alleged. If you want to know the proof, I am not in a position to give you proof, but it is a common notion and perception of the general people that doctors, as they are writing the trade name of a particular medicine, they are influenced by some mechanism, and that's the reason they write that trade name in spite of generic name. It is allegation, again I am telling you. There is some restrictive trade practice. It is absolutely a consumer protection term. Restrictive trade practice means if you want to purchase something, but as a precondition, you are supposed to purchase something other. In medical fraternity, it also happens. If you want to purchase anything, there might be some precondition that you are supposed to take something other, which actually you don't require. In our country, I don't know whether it is scientifically right or wrong, as our people, our consumers are not properly guided after dispensing the medicine, the mechanism of preserving that. Nobody told us that that should be kept in a cold place, that should not be kept in a refrigerator. Nobody tells any consumer. So we don't know. But there is no provision to return the medicine. Unused medicine, and in our country, I require, doctor has prescribed 6 tablets or 6 capsules. But in medical shop, they will not dispense 6 tablets. I am supposed to procure a whole strip of 10 tablets or 12 tablets or something like that. And obviously that rest part of the medicine will remain unused, but there is no provision to return back it. So that should have been in place if some medicines are if I am supposed to purchase, but I have not used, that should be, I don't know, during the preservation period of that particular patient party, the quality, quantity, efficacy of the medicine is deteriorated or not. If he or she is properly guided, she could have properly preserved it. But At the same time, that education for the consumer should be in place, and mechanism for taking back the unused medicine should also be in place. Non-issuance of cash memo is a very common practice in our country. Most of the dispensaries, they seldom issue cash memo, especially in rural areas. You will find no pharmacy where proper cash memo is being used. And sir was telling something about GST inclusive of, no sir, not that, Director of Health Services, he was telling that the MRP of the medicine is fixed, and after that some GST is imposed on that and calculative over that. I think that is wrong. It is written over there that MRP inclusive of all sorts of taxes. But those who have some insurance policy or West Bengal government that health policy, when you go for claiming the amount of that medicine, it is mandatory to clearly mention the GST part, state part and central part. But our medical shop owners are not educated properly to write that issue in such a manner that people can get access to the reimbursement possible for government employees or some insurance holders. So that education should be given to the shop owners of the medicines, so that the cash memo part is made properly and handed over to the aspirant customers who actually in need of that cash memo. People who do not need, they should have also need cash memo, and I would suggest all people over here make it a habit to have a cash memo over purchase of every medicine, because that is only the document which can be produced if there is any issues of consumerism, because in Consumer Protection Act there is no provision to cross-check the witnesses or something like that. The judgment is made on the papers only. So it is a very important document. Always make it habit to have the cash memo on any purchase. Right to be heard. This is a very peculiar thing. In every medicine, I have seen that there is a consumer grievance toll-free number, or sometimes tolled number. But whenever you start talking, they will start talking either in Hindi or in English. No local vernacular person having experience over local vernacular is engaged for the purpose. In other places also, the customer care system is like that in all over India. Either you are supposed to speak in Hindi or speak in English. Local vernacular is absent there. So an illiterate person of rural Bengal, he will have never an opportunity to access that customer care. As I have already discussed that issues of medicine regarding its quality, potency, purity, efficacy, etc. and price, we seldom get written complaint. The reason behind it, as I have already told, that it is very difficult to prove. And here comes the role of the government departments, so that the quality of the medicine, whether it is a combined medicine or generic medicine, the quality should strictly maintained in such a way that people should not have any issue over it, because the common people are very ordinary people. They don't have the capacity or monetary power to raise the issue to the proper form and prove it that the medicine is actually responsible for not having cured. So it is the moral responsibility and professional responsibility of the government officials to ensure it. In consumer protection also, we frequently receive complaints from general consumers over health issue, but that is basically on deficiency in service from practicing doctors. Regarding medicine, regarding efficacy, regarding efficiency, regarding combination, regarding pricing of medicine, people are less concerned. They are concerned over the issue of doctors who are actually administering medicines. I can let you, I will request you to remember the issue of that Mr. Shaha, Kunal Shaha, Dr. Kunal Shaha case. Actually, the medicine which as accused caused the death of his wife, Urnuradha Shaha, was some medicine which, as he claimed, was not to be applied on without testing on that lady. So there is enormous health hazard over the issue, and he had enormous power to fight up to Supreme Court, and he won, but most of the people do not have that power and capacity and time, the common people like us. So it is our responsibility to make such a system which can ensure, which can protect the consumer, that they do not need to go every time to the door of the redressal mechanism units for obtaining their redressal, and they should be kept in secured and safe position. It is our moral responsibility. I would thank all of you for giving me a patient hearing. Thank you all, and I am thankful to Rudra sir for calling me over here. Such a prestigious dais has been provided for me to make the deliberation. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Orunkar, sir, for sharing your thoughts regarding price monitoring and its relation with consumer affairs. Also, some of his queries may be the feeds for our next session, panel discussion session. Next now, I would like to welcome Srimati Nandita Das, our next speaker from non-governmental organization. Srimati Nandita Das is Supply Chain Manager at Community Development Medicinal Unit, that is CDMU, Kolkata. She has completed her post-graduation on public relation in 2011. Since 2015, she has gathered her experience in managing procurement and distribution system of CDMU. She was also responsible for communication with CDMU partners for deliberation of advice of access to medicines program. So, ma'am, please come.
Welcome to all. I'm Nandita from Community Development Medicinal Unit. A very few lines about our organization. CDMU is a network of healthcare organization to promote the concept and access to essential medicines and rational uses of medicines. Initiated with 18 non-profit health organizations in 1984, which has expanded to a network of 350 non-profit healthcare organizations and covering six states, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Assam, Tripura, Karnataka, Chhattisgarh in present in India in a span of 37 years. Our programs: access to medicines for our member organization and community, capacity building in health and medicines uses, publication on rational uses of medicines. In this sector, I want to tell that we have published 3 editions of standard treatment guidelines and 1 draft formulary, and research on rational uses of medicine. I want to share my little knowledge in this field, that we are supplying not directly, but indirectly to through our member organization in community level. So we are supplying medicine to the community mainly for the following health problems that we have found in community level. That is non-communicable diseases, hypertension, diabetes mellitus, mental illness, and pain. And communicable diseases are skin problems, amoebiasis, diarrhea, fever, rheumatic fever, and urinary tract infection. The essential medicines list in 2020, just I have selected some medicines from that list, which are mainly used for curing these, not curing, but for uses this, for these diseases. Non-communicable diseases, for hypertension, generally we supply enalapril, amlodipine, hydrochlorothiazide, metoprolol. Diabetes mellitus, metformin, glimepiride. Mental illness, clonazepam, risperidone, sodium valproate, fluoxetine, escitalopram, carbamazepine, phenytoin sodium, and diazepam. And for pain-related issues, we generally supply ibuprofen, gabapentin, diclofenac. And acid reflux, domperidone, and ondansetron. These all are from 384 drug lists which has already published in 2022, essential medicine list. And for skin problem, clindamycin, doxycycline as antibiotic, glycopholvin, fluconazole, permethrin cream, cetirizine, phenylephrine maleate, itraconazole, diarrhea, ORS, urinary tract infection, cotrimoxazole, and ciprofloxacin. Now the problem is, we have seen, mainly as I am the purchase manager, I generally procure all the medicines. So I have found some differences, like huge margin between wholesaler price and MRP for this from this essential medicine list. I have just mentioned some medicines name with the MRP, which is per unit basis, and the wholesaler price, which is also per unit basis. Like amlodipine 5, the MRP is 2.91 for one tablet, when the purchase price is 0.25. And the amlodipine is the basic medicine for hypertension, which is mostly used in community. Metoprolol 100 mg, which is also very usable medicine. Its MRP is 8.95 and the purchase price is 1.60. A metformin 1000, like 4.50, and the purchase price is 1.06. Gabapentin, which is used only for pain relief, 17.50 per one tablet, when the purchase rate is 1.42. Here is the data you can see. Pantoprazole MRP is 12, when purchase price is 0.71. Now, we want to tell just huge margin between wholesaler price and MRP. What is the basis of fixing of MRP? How much profit should a retailer have? Only, I want to tell that in my knowledge, if we just opt the we just follow the 1979 formula of fixing MRP, only then we can achieve our goal. Here are some opportunity that we can obtain. One is to sensitize manufacturers to manufacture all the essential medicine and distribute in generic division. Second one is to create more awareness on generic medicine and its use in the community level. Third one is to sensitize prescribers for prescribing medicine in generic or molecule name. Means ডক্টররা যদি প্রেসক্রিপশনটা মলিকিউল নেমে করেন তখনই কিন্তু একজন সাধারণ মানুষ যারা মেডিসিন সম্পর্কে কিছুই বোঝেন না তখনই তারা এই মেডিসিনটাকে কিনতে পারবেন। কারণ এখনো পর্যন্ত দেখা গেছে রিসেন্ট যেহেতু আমরা একটা ডাইরেক্ট রিটেল জেনেরিক মেডিসিনের শপও ওপেন করেছি, আমরা রিসেন্ট যেটা ফেস করছি যে মেনলি একদম লো কমিউনিটি লেভেল, মানে যেখানে একদম মানুষরা মোস্টলি ইলিটারেট, তারা কিন্তু এখনো জেনেরিক মেডিসিন সম্পর্কে কিছুই জানেন না। তারা কিন্তু চোখ বন্ধ করে একজন ডাক্তারের কাছেই যান এবং ডাক্তার যেটা লিখে দেন এক্স্যাক্ট সেই নামটা, ইভেন ডক্টর যদি স্পেলিং ভুল করেও কোনো মেডিসিনের নাম লিখে দেন সেই নামটাই কিন্তু ওনারা এসে চান, যাতে যতই আমরা নাকি তাদের বোঝাই। তো ন্যাচারালি আমার মনে হয় যদি আমাদের সরকারের দিক থেকে, কারণ আমাদের ক্ষমতা খুব সীমিত, আমরা সাধারণ মানুষ, আমাদের ক্ষমতা খুব সীমিত, আমাদের সরকারের লেভেল থেকে যদি এই রুলসটা চালু করা হয় যে প্রত্যেকজন ডক্টর তাদের প্রেসক্রিপশনটা জেনেরিক বা মলিকিউল নেমে করবেন, তাহলে কিন্তু আমরা এই প্রবলেমটা অনেকটা সলভ করতে পারবো। আরেকটা যেটা ব্যাপার হচ্ছে যেটা আমি মেন যে ডেটাটা দেখালাম যে এমআরপি আর যেটা নাকি হোলসেলার রেট, সেই হোলসেলার রেটের আর এমআরপির মধ্যে কিন্তু ডিফারেন্স আমাদের কমিয়ে আনতে হবে ফর এসেনশিয়াল ড্রাগ লিস্ট। তার কারণ হচ্ছে আমি যেই রেটটা বললাম সেই রেটটায় আমরা কিনছি, মানে আমরা যেহেতু অনেকটা বাল্কে পারচেস করি সবাইকে দিচ্ছি, কিন্তু এন্ড ইউজাররা কিন্তু সেই রেটটায় পাচ্ছেন না। এন্ড ইউজাররা কিন্তু যদিও তাদের দেখানো হয় যে 80% ডিসকাউন্ট পাচ্ছেন, 70% ডিসকাউন্ট পাচ্ছেন, কিন্তু তারা তাও কিন্তু অনেকটা বার্ডেন নিয়ে নিচ্ছেন এই খরচাটার জন্য। অ্যান্ড আফটার কোভিড মানে একটা লেভেলের পরে কিন্তু অনেকের অবস্থা মানে রোজগার পাতি অনেকটাই কমে গেছে, যেটা আমি পুরো পরিষ্কার বাংলা ভাষায় বলতে পারি। তাহলে তাদের জন্য সবটাই যদি আমি ভেবে যদি সরকার এরম একটা সিদ্ধান্তে আসেন যে আমাদের যে ডিফারেন্সটা আমরা বুঝতে পারছি সেই ডিফারেন্সটা যত কমিয়ে আনবেন তত কোনো রিটেলার পারবে না যে বেশি দামে বিক্রি করতে, যদিও তা ডিসকাউন্ট অফার করছেন কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি সেটা এমআরপির ওপরেই করছেন, আর এমআরপিটা কিন্তু অনেকটা বাড়ানো রয়েছে। ন্যাচারালি কোনো এন্ড ইউজারেরই কিন্তু কোনো লাভ হচ্ছে না আলটিমেটলি। অ্যান্ড টু অ্যাভয়েড ইউজ অফ ফিক্সড ডোজ কম্বিনেশন, ইউ হ্যাভ ভমিটেড দ্য ফিক্সড ডোজ কম্বিনেশনের যেটা স্যার আগেও স্যার বললেন যে এটা যদি আমরা অ্যাভয়েড করি, মানে কিছু পেনের জন্য আমাদের প্যারাসিটামল ইজ মোর দ্যান এনাফ অ্যাসিক্লোফেনাক উইথ প্যারাসিটামল খাওয়ার থেকে, কারণ অ্যাসিক্লোফেনাক প্যারাসিটামল আমাদের একটু দাম বেশি পড়ে যায়, সেখানে প্যারাসিটামল অনেক ইউজফুল। অ্যান্ড টু প্রমোট জেনেরিক ফার্মাসি, মানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি সরকারের মানে হাসপাতালই সরকারের যে হাসপাতালগুলো আছে সেখানে যেই দোকানগুলো আছে সেই দোকানগুলো তো পুরো কমিউনিটিকে কোনো দিনই সার্ভ করতে পারবেন না। তো ন্যাচারালি যদি জেনেরিক মেডিসিনের শপ ওপেন করে এটা প্রমোট করা হয় তাহলে মনে হয় আমাদের প্রবলেমটা আস্তে আস্তে রিডিউস করবে, আর আমাদের রিডিউস করানো উচিত। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, for your hard work and contribution in every possible way for the well-being of our people and our society. And thank you for sharing your great work experience. Thank you, ma'am.
Our honorable guest, Sri Probir Kumar Mishra, ex-district judge, presiding officer of West Bengal Food Safety Appellate Tribunal, has arrived just now. We want to facilitate, sir. Felicitation will be done by Tania Bishwas, PMRU. Sir, please come on to the dais, sir. Sir is not interested to come onto the dais. He will be felicitated by one flower bouquet and a memento. Thank you, sir.
So the technical session one is quite finished, and it was so tightly and nicely knitted that it was really an educative session with lots of information touching every aspect, like regulatory aspects, reason for formation of PMRs, different diseases, why price monitoring is important, and how more and more medicines would reach out to the common people. We get to know about the Consumer Awareness, Consumer Protection Act, and what is the actual scenario in the field. So we will have much more discussions in our technical session 2, that is panel discussion. But before that, we are really feeling hungry and need some refreshments also. So we are taking a lunch break for 1 hour. We will meet after lunch, okay, sharply at 3 p.m. Thank you so much.
Before the lunch break, there is a small video. I think it will be very enticing. Kindly sit for a few minutes, then we will go for the sumptuous lunch.
अब उपभोक्ता अपने मोबाइल पर ही पा सकते हैं फार्मा सही दाम मोबाइल ऐप के अपडेटेड वर्जन के जरिए, जिसमें कई नए फीचर्स भी हैं। ये ऐप हिंदी और अंग्रेजी भाषा में उपलब्ध है। उपभोक्ता इस ऐप को अपने मोबाइल में इंस्टॉल करके दवा की कीमत खोजें पर जाकर ब्रांड या फॉर्मुलेशन के आधार पर किसी भी दवा का सही नाम जान सकते हैं और दवाइयों के विकल्पों की भी खोज कर सकते हैं। इस ऐप में स्पीच रिकॉग्निशन की सुविधा भी उपलब्ध है। इस ऐप के द्वारा ग्राहक बहुत आसानी से शेयर बटन के जरिए किसी को भी दवाइयों और उनके मूल्यों की जानकारी को साझा कर सकते हैं। दवा के अधिक दाम की शिकायत भी इस ऐप के द्वारा की जा सकती है। शिकायत दर्ज करने के लिए ऐप के शिकायत प्रबंधन सेक्शन में शिकायत दर्ज करें पर क्लिक कीजिए। फिर शिकायत के प्रकार का चुनाव कीजिए, जैसे कि अधिकृत मूल्य से अधिक कीमत, दवा की अनुपलब्धता यानी कमी, एनपीए के बिना मूल्य अनुमति के नई दवा की बिक्री या आपूर्ति की मनाही। वेरिफिकेशन के लिए आपके मोबाइल पर ओटीपी भेजा जाएगा और शिकायत पंजीकृत हो जाएगी। इस सेक्शन में आप अपनी पिछली शिकायत की स्थिति और समाधान का विवरण भी देख सकते हैं। इसलिए अपने मोबाइल में फार्मा सही दाम मोबाइल ऐप डाउनलोड कीजिए। फार्मा सही दाम मोबाइल ऐप, हर दवा उपभोक्ता की ताकत। भारत सरकार द्वारा डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से दवा के सही दाम की जानकारी और उससे संबंधित शिकायत का समाधान अब उपभोक्ता अपने मोबाइल पर ही पा सकते हैं। फार्मा सही दाम मोबाइल ऐप के अपडेटेड वर्जन के जरिए, जिसमें कई नए फीचर्स भी हैं। ये ऐप हिंदी और अंग्रेजी भाषा में उपलब्ध है। उपभोक्ता इस ऐप को अपने मोबाइल में इंस्टॉल करके दवा की कीमत खोजे पर जाकर ब्रांड या फॉर्मुलेशन के आधार पर किसी भी दवा का सही नाम जान सकते हैं और दवाइयों के विकल्पों की भी खोज कर सकते हैं। इस ऐप में स्पीच रिकॉग्निशन की सुविधा भी उपलब्ध है। इस ऐप के द्वारा ग्राहक बहुत आसानी से शेयर बटन के जरिए किसी को भी दवाइयों और उनके मूल्यों की जानकारी को साझा कर सकते हैं। दवा के अधिक दाम की शिकायत भी इस ऐप के द्वारा की जा सकती है। शिकायत दर्ज करने के लिए ऐप के शिकायत प्रबंधन सेक्शन में शिकायत दर्ज करें पर क्लिक कीजिए। फिर शिकायत के प्रकार का चुनाव कीजिए, जैसे कि अधिकृत मूल्य से अधिक कीमत, दवा की अनुपलब्धता यानी कमी, एनपीए के बिना मूल्य अनुमति के नई दवा की बिक्री या आपूर्ति की मनाही। वेरिफिकेशन के लिए आपके मोबाइल पर OTP भेजा जाएगा और शिकायत पंजीकृत हो जाएगी। इस सेक्शन में आप अपनी पिछली शिकायत की स्थिति और समाधान का विवरण भी देख सकते हैं। इसलिए अपने मोबाइल में फार्मा सही दाम मोबाइल ऐप डाउनलोड कीजिए। फार्मा सही दाम मोबाइल ऐप, हर दवा उपभोक्ता की ताकत। भारत सरकार द्वारा डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से दवा के सही दाम की जानकारी और उससे संबंधित शिकायत का समाधान अब उपभोक्ता अपने मोबाइल पर ही पा सकते हैं। फार्मा सही दाम मोबाइल ऐप के अपडेटेड वर्जन के जरिए, जिसमें कई नए फीचर्स भी हैं। ये ऐप हिंदी और